Chapter 26. Zabuzen looked at Naruto flatly, with no fear in his eyes, as if he already had the will to die. Naruto looked at him indifferently after hearing Zabuzen's words. If you can't use it for yourself if you don't cut it, then it's useless to keep it. Moreover, Naruto has already revealed more than half of his strength, and he doesn't want anyone but his own to know. Thinking about it, Naruto snorted coldly and raised the handle of the knife in his hand. Thousands of sakura flowers condensed under his hand, and soon a blade was condensed on the handle. As soon as the blade is out, Naruto will swing it down. And at this moment, a crisp exclamation interrupted the silence. Don't want. After the voice sounded, a figure in a gray-white battle suit rushed between Zabuza and Naruto. Wearing a mask, the figure ran to Zabujan's side, saw the bloody, bruised, embarrassed Zabujan, and hurriedly asked worriedly, "If you don't behead my lord, are you okay?" Looking at the figure that appeared, a look of anxiety and reluctance flashed in Zabuzen's eyes, but he still shouted angrily, "Bai, what are you doing here? Go away. What's going on here has nothing to do with you." Bai firmly shook his head, turned to look at Naruto. His eyes were firm and begging. Then, Shiro was seen taking off his mask. Under the mask was the face of a spotless and beautiful boy. Shiro knelt down, looked at Naruto beggingly, and said hastily, "Don't kill Master. If you don't kill Master, you will be forced to be helpless. We really don't want to wander anymore." Looking at the white that appeared, he kept begging himself. The expression of not beheading is also moved, and the will to die that is not afraid of death just now is no longer on the face. Instead, he gritted his teeth and looked at Naruto, as if waiting for Naruto's decision. Naruto exhaled and didn't answer Bai's words, but instead looked at no more chopping and said lightly, "If you don't cut it, I don't have to kill you." Hearing Naruto's words, Zabuzen and Shiro were taken aback. Before they could speak, Naruto went on to say, "You don't need to refuse in a hurry. You don't think about yourself. You have to think about it for nothing. According to my plan, you can definitely continue to survive in the country of Bo safely. Besides, we are the same kind of people." Zaibucho froze for a moment, looked at Naruto in confusion, not knowing what Naruto was talking about. Naruto smiled and explained lightly, "We are all used by the village, monitored by the village, and used as a tool to kill us, ruining our childhood and life. Even, we will be hunted down by the village in the future. You are too, and so am I. And this is why I ask you for help. Because we are all the same people, and we are not willing to do this." Looking at Zabuchi, Naruto said word by word. After Zaibujan heard Naruto's words, his expression was also touched, and he narrowed his eyes. That's right, as a ghost man, he has been trained in ninja school since he was a child. Didn't get a comfortable childhood like ordinary people at all. Even, in the end, he still has to do inhumane things, killing his companions and classmates before he can graduate from school. Is this what I want to do again? No, it's not. Instead, he was forced to be helpless, just as helpless as he is now forced to live in the kingdom of waves. If you don't kill them, you will be killed. Very simple reason. The policy of the weak and the strong, the inhuman mist shinobi executives, and the repeated malicious injections have led to the birth of ghosts. It was precisely because of this that Buzhou would have the heart to take her in after meeting Baiho again. Because he didn't want this pure and flawless Shiro to become a victim of mist shinobi's high level again. I don't want Baizai to follow the same path as him. That's why he chose to take Bai to live in the land of waves. Seeing Zabuzen's expression moved, Naruto knew that Zabuzen had listened to his own words. Then, Naruto continued, "If you had the chance to subvert all this, wouldn't you want to do it?" No longer stunned, narrowed his eyes, looked at Naruto, and said, "What's the meaning?" Naruto continued, "It's very simple. You don't want to wander around the world like this all the time, hiding everywhere? If you were given the opportunity to let you pay the pain to your person and let him pay the price, wouldn't you want to do it? Don't you want to continue wandering like this, living a life full of blood on the tip of a knife, always in a state of uneasiness? Don't you want to make the person who caused you pain pay the price? Are you willing to accept all this calmly? If you don't cut it, it's not us who are wrong, it's the world who is wrong. As long as you cooperate with me with all your heart, then one day, I will bring you to redress all injustices. Let them pay back all the miserable treatment you have suffered 100-fold. Naruto tried to calm down his emotions while talking. It seemed that he also thought of his own experience. After listening to Naruto's words, Zabuzen was already aroused with interest and unwilling anger. If there is a chance, how could he not want to kill Miss Shinobi and make those who persecuted him pay the price. Let that hell disappear completely, but don't do it again. He has tried. Dissatisfied with the tyranny of Mist Shinobi, Zabuza launched the assassination of 4th Mizukage, but the action ended in failure. It was because of that assassination that Zabujan lived a life of wandering and fleeing, guarding against Mist Shinobi's pursuit day and night. Therefore, Zabujan did not easily believe Naruto's words. Instead, he snorted coldly and asked, "Why do you think you can do it? I thought about everything you said, but in the end, I just spend my days in this stupid village, guarding against the attack of Mist Shinobi at any time." Naruto smiled, and if he didn't cut it, it didn't interrupt his train of thought. It's normal for him to doubt, and Naruto had already thought about it. Immediately, Naruto smiled freely, burst out chakra instantly, his azure pupils were slowly stained with blood red, and said calmly, "With me, it's Nine Tails Jinchuriki. With my current age, I can defeat you." Chapter 27. The faint words sounded, and Zabujan fell into shock immediately. Bujan and Shiro both looked at Naruto in astonishment. Nine Tails Jinchuriki. How could they not be familiar with this name? Because the 4th Mizukage who does not kill the assassin is also the Jinchuriki of the tailed beast. What made Zabuza even more surprised was that the chakra erupted by Naruto, like a mountain, descended suddenly and suppressed them, making him feel extremely dangerous and hard to breathe. After this chakra erupted, Zabujan realized it immediately. The Naruto who fought against him just now is not his full strength. Naruto still has reservations. Moreover, there are still a lot of them. The burst of chakra and breath makes it hard to resist even if you don't cut it. This is incredible. It's hard to imagine that a young man could have such terrifying power. The way Zabuza looked at Naruto changed slightly. Naruto is right. At this age, he has the strength to crush him, which is enough to show that Naruto is extraordinary. More importantly, Naruto's mind is not comparable to that of ordinary people. He is more mature than this ghost man who has been adding blood to the tip of his knife all year round. Because what Naruto wanted to do, he did not do it impulsively, but planned step by step and managed step by step. From this point of view, Naruto's mind is almost higher than his. After all, if he didn't kill him, he would have gone to assassinate him single-handedly back then. Of course, the result is also a failure. But Naruto is different. Naruto is starting to plan now, and his strength is also much stronger than him, which makes Zabuza feel that he will succeed. Coupled with the identity of Naruto Nine Tails Jinchuriki, Zabuza is even more convincing. Jinchuriki, the important weapon of the village. Its power is simply capable of turning mountains and seas. If you don't cut it, you have experienced it yourself. That's also when he assassinated 4th Mizukage, and the power of the tailed beast erupted from 4th Mizukage horrified him. That's just 3 tails, but Naruto is 9 Tails Jinchuriki. If Naruto can control the power of 9 tails, based on this alone, there is no doubt that he will set off a bloodbath in the ninja world. Besides, even without the power of 9 tails, Naruto's various performances make Zabujan feel that he is very extraordinary. Just when Zabujan thought about it and was about to speak, Zabujan suddenly found out in astonishment. Naruto's blue eyes slowly turned into blood red. Soon, a pair of scarlet eyes stood out. 3 Tomoe turned slowly, very strange. Seeing these eyes, Zabujan immediately opened his eyes wide. How could he not recognize the origin of these eyes? These eyes are exactly the famous Sharingan. Sharingan, the symbol of the elite of the Uchiha clan. I never thought that Naruto would have these eyes. Moreover, when he played against him just now, he hadn't used it yet, which is enough to show that Naruto still has a lot of cards that he doesn't know about. And Naruto defeated him without using these cards. Zabuza suddenly looked at Naruto in astonishment and said in a voiceless voice, "These eyes are you?" Before Zabuza finished speaking, Naruto nodded and said, "Yes, this is the Sharingan. However, I am not of the Uchiha clan. I have these eyes by chance." No more chopping and suddenly fell into shock. Naruto gave him too many surprises. Different things are revealed again and again, making Zabujan feel that there are many secrets in this young man that he has never known. This also made Zabujan feel unbelievable. Soon, Zabuza came to his senses, took a breath, looked at Naruto in amazement, and said, "Good boy, you are really a monster. I didn't expect Konoha to produce a character like you." Naruto smiled and said lightly, "How about it, if you don't cut it? How do you think about it?" Seeing Naruto show his cards that shocked him time and time again, coupled with Naruto's rhetoric just now, Naruto's performance really moved him. Moreover, the appearance of Bai also made Zabuzen think twice. Immediately, Zabujan nodded without hesitation and said, "Okay, I agree to join you. But what do you need me to do for you?" Saying that, he looked at Naruto without doubt and asked. Naruto smiled lightly, looked at the beautiful scenery of the land of waves, and said lightly, "It's very simple. I need you to help me form an army of ninjas. Whether you train ninjas or recruit rebellious ninjas. It doesn't matter if you recruit former subordinates. This army must strictly obey my orders. Come in handy." Naruto's words made Zabuzen startled. Zabuzen looked at Naruto in surprise and asked, "What are you up to?" Naruto narrowed his eyes revealing murderous intent, looked in the direction of Konoha, clenched his fists, and said lightly, "I said, I am the same person as you. I want to destroy Konoha." Chapter 28. Hearing Naruto's words, Zabuzen took a deep breath and began to examine Naruto carefully. Unexpectedly, Naruto would actually say something like destroying Konoha. This is something that some people dare not even think about. Not to mention, it was only a 13 or 14-year-old boy who said this sentence. However, after learning of Naruto's identity, Zabuzen quickly understood and gradually understood. The Jinchuriki of the tailed beast, something that any village has. What happened to Jinchuriki was not very good in every village, except for the one in Cloud Shinobi Village. In the eyes of almost everyone, Jinchuriki is a weapon, a living biological weapon. In the eyes of the village, they are not considered to be alone. Because of this, the treatment of Jinchuriki in the village is not as good as that of a normal person. They are monitored day and night, and their whereabouts are closely monitored every moment of the day, just like in a prison. It sounds nice to protect Jinchuriki, but the real purpose is self-evident. It is nothing more than fear that the Jinchuriki will be out of their control, and they will not be able to use it. Of course, there are various other reasons as well. And what happened to Naruto may be more difficult than he thought. Shiro couldn't help but look at Naruto a few more times. At this moment, Zabuzen and Bai understood what Naruto meant when he said, "I am the same person as you." Not only do they have the same experience, but they both want to do the same thing. Destroy. Let all the unfair treatment in the past pay the price. After Naruto finished speaking, he couldn't help but clenched his fists and exhaled. What I said just now was not only for those who will not be beheaded, but also for him. From a certain moment, Naruto vowed to make everything that happened in Konoha peak. Let him pay back 100-fold for all the injustice he suffered. Let all the infinite malice be felt by those who looked at him coldly. However, Naruto was not as impulsive as Zabuchi and did this kind of thing alone, but with a sophisticated plan. Not only that, but Naruto also knew that he wanted to subvert Konoha and realize his own revenge. It's not enough to rely on one person alone. After all, it is a village, the head of the 5 great nations. He needs an army, companions, and like-minded people, step-by-step management, step-by-step planning. Slowly let Konoha be destroyed. Make them tremble. Let them know what a price to pay for his pain. And Naruto's party is also the beginning of Naruto's long-planned plan. From here, Naruto will gradually realize his plan. Thinking of this, Naruto also exhaled, gradually calming down his emotions. "Now, you should understand why I want to find you." Zabujan was stunned for a moment, then reacted and nodded. Bujan has no choice but to marvel at Naruto's resourcefulness. If he had planned to assassinate 4th Mizukage in the first place, he would have planned as carefully as Naruto and would not have ended up in such a situation. What Naruto asked him to do was very simple, which was to recruit troops in the Land of Waves. There are no ninjas in the Land of Waves, and no ear wires from other big countries. Hiding here, slowly developing power is the best choice. Moreover, Umbu, who used to be a Miss Shinobi, has been a traitor for many years. His years of wandering and previous mission experience have made him well informed. It is not difficult to practice some ninjas. So, Naruto picked him. "Okay, I get it." Naruto nodded and said without delay, "If that's the case, let's go now. If you stay here for too long, Kakashi will find you sooner or later. By the way, don't expose my existence. I don't want anyone to know that there is my shadow in the Land of Waves before the plan is completed." To put it bluntly, although Naruto is letting Zabuzen train the army in the Land of Waves, the boss behind the scenes is still Naruto. Also, Naruto didn't want to expose himself. Of course I knew what Naruto meant, so I nodded. After finishing speaking, he stood up with difficulty and prepared to leave with Bai. Before leaving, Bai took a deep look at Naruto, then bowed heavily and said, "Thank you." Naruto smiled lightly, Shiro followed Zabuzen and left temporarily. Looking at the backs of Zabuzen and Bailu, Naruto narrowed his eyes. He wasn't worried about not going back on his promise again, because he had already shown some methods just now, which made Zabujan initially know his own strength. Only by letting him know the power of Naruto can a person like Zabuzen who has added blood on the tip of his knife completely shock him, convince him, and help himself with all his heart. This is also the reason why Naruto did not hide his strength and chose to crush directly and not cut. Moreover, Zabujan is also an ambitious person. Known from his assassination of 4th Mizukage, they are all the same people, and they will not be willing to accept everything they have experienced. Now that the opportunity came, how could he not grasp it? Even if it is really stupid not to cut again, then Naruto is not worried. He can defeat not cut once, he can beat not cut again. Under the same encounter, you should know Naruto's character even if you don't kill him. If someone really dares to betray Naruto, it means that it is heavier than anything else. It's not so stupid not to cut. In fact, Zabuzen has completely believed in Naruto and is ready to do what Naruto said. As Naruto said, why don't you want to do something big, accomplish what he didn't do at the beginning, and overthrow the tyranny and injustice in the past? After watching Zabuzen and Shiro leave completely, Naruto also exhaled, ready to return to Kakashi and the others. Under the thick fog, a Shuenpa from Naruto disappeared and appeared beside little Sakura the next moment. Relying on the thick fog to cover up and Naruto using Kido to hide his aura, no one noticed Naruto's departure just now. Kakashi and the others are still waiting seriously at this moment, staring at the surroundings very nervously, guarding against any further attacks. Chapter 29. After returning to little Sakura, Naruto glanced at Kakashi. Kakashi was still using the Scarlet Sharingan to look around vigilantly, looking for traces of Zabusha. The crowd didn't seem to notice that Naruto had been away for a while. It's no wonder, after all, there is such a thick fog blocking the line of sight. Kakashi and the others can't even see the people around them. There was still chakra confusion in the fog, and Naruto used Kido to hide his body and threatened to kill the number 1 enemy to pressure. They didn't notice that Naruto was also normal. Seeing this, Naruto exhaled, and with a wave of his hand, the thick fog gradually dispersed. Soon, after a while, after the fog dissipated, everyone's sight gradually became clearer. Seeing that her companions were all around her, little Sakura breathed a sigh of relief and patted her chest. As for Sasuke and Kakashi, after seeing their vision clearly, they saw that there was no one else here except a few of them. The two were taken aback for a moment and quickly looked around. But no matter how they looked, they couldn't find Zabuzen's figure. Kakashi frowned before he could speak. Sasuke said unwillingly, "Where did the enemy go? Maybe he left." Kakashi glanced at the traces of battle on the ground in the distance, narrowed his eyes, and said lightly. Sasuke was taken aback and looked at Kakashi in disbelief, not knowing why the other party left so quickly. Obviously just now the ghost man threatened them if he didn't kill them, threatening to kill them all. Without waiting for Sasuke to ask, Kakashi walked to the place where there were remaining traces of battle, scanned around carefully, then exhaled, and said, "It seems that they really left. I just felt the breath of chakra fighting nearby. It seems that they may have encountered their enemies. An enemy who won't kill again?" Sasuke and little Sakura looked at Kakashi in surprise and asked in surprise. Kakashi nodded and expressed his inner analysis. "Well, I guess it might be Miss Shinobi's Umbu. After all, it is Miss Shinobi's rebellious ninja. Miss Shinobi's Umbu never slackens in the pursuit of rebellious nin. It is not surprising that they chased here. They are very likely to fight after one game. They each left." "Then Zabuza was captured by Miss Shinobi Umbu?" little Sakura asked hopefully. From the looks of it, little Sakura was really frightened by the threat of Onijin not killing her just now. After all, with the silent killing technique, when someone is killed, the other party does not know how he died. However, Kakashi didn't give little Sakura the answer he wanted. Instead, he shook his head and said, "Not necessarily. Onijin Zabuza is not so easy to deal with. If Miss Shinobi Umbu caught him so easily, he wouldn't let Zabuza run away for so long. He's a ruthless character to assassinate Mizukage." After Kakashi finished speaking, Sasuke and little Sakura fell silent again. Obviously, none of them wanted to meet that formidable opponent again. However, Kakashi quickly put on a relaxed look, squinted his eyes and smiled, patted the shoulders of the two comfortingly, and said, Okay, the enemy is gone now. Even if we come next time, we have time to prepare. Next, our top priority is to escort Mr. Dasner home first, and then train you well before the enemy's next attack. In this way, even if you do not attack again, you will have the ability to protect yourself. Hearing that Kakashi wanted to train and improve their strength, little Sakura immediately cheered. Sasuke also showed a rare smile. He has been eager to become stronger for a long time. Naruto did not fluctuate, because he knew that what Kakashi wanted to train them was only the most basic practice of controlling chakra. These, he had already learned several years ago. However, Naruto smiled politely. Okay, let's send Dasna home first. Next, I will customize a set of tailor-made training methods for you. After Kakashi finished speaking, everyone took Dasna on their way. Dasna was also in a cold sweat from the fright just now, and almost fainted from the fright. After all, the murderous aura of not slashing is quite heavy. He is an ordinary person, and he rarely sees this kind of ninja with blood on the tip of his knife. After returning to Dasna's home, Naruto also saw the beautiful young woman in Dasna's house and the disobedient and noisy child Inari. Ili didn't like Naruto and the others very much, and wanted to drive them away noisily. However, Naruto directly chose to ignore this, and didn't even bother to talk to him. Dasna's daughter-in-law warmly entertained everyone, and after everyone sent Dasna home safely, Kakashi took Naruto and the three of them and turned away without delay to find a practice site. After leaving Dasna's house, Kakashi led the three of them all the way to the depths of the forest and found a wide place before stopping. Then, Kakashi began to introduce the cultivation methods to them. Kakashi wants Sasuke and little Sakura to practice is very simple, is to climb a tree, attach chakra to the sole of the foot, and with the ingenious balance of chakra absorption, walk on the big tree step by step, as if walking on flat ground. This kind of cultivation method is very simple. The test is whether everyone is familiar with chakra's controllability. After Kakashi personally showed Sasuke how to climb the tree, Sasuke and the others quickly understood. After knowing how to practice, Sasuke and little Sakura couldn't wait to start experimenting to see how far they could climb a tree for the first time. Sure enough, the impatient Sasuke didn't take a few steps on the tree before falling down and falling to the ground in embarrassment. On the other hand, little Sakura, as a girl, has been able to walk more than 10 steps on the tree, although there is still a distance from the summit. But it also shows little Sakura's talent for controlling chakra. Kakashi looked at the performance of the two and nodded involuntarily with satisfaction. Then, Kakashi looked at Naruto, who was silent and did nothing. At this moment, Naruto, like an outsider, quietly watched Sasuke and little Sakura climb the tree, indifferent, and he had no intention of participating. Kakashi squinted his eyes and stared at Naruto. Seeing Naruto's calm expression, suddenly, Kakashi said lightly, "Naruto, this, you should already know it." Kakashi's words immediately attracted everyone's attention. Little Sakura and Sasuke also stopped practicing and looked at Naruto curiously, wanting to know the answer. Asked by Kakashi, Sasuke and little Sakura stared at him like that. Naruto shrugged helplessly and had to nod his head. Then, under the eyes of everyone, Naruto raised his feet and walked up the tree step by step. All I saw was that Naruto walked very smoothly, not flustered like little Sakura and Sasuke. On the contrary, it reached the highest point with ease. Seeing this scene, Sasuke and little Sakura opened their eyes wide in shock. But Kakashi seemed to have thought of it a long time ago and nodded appreciatively. Sasuke and little Sakura can't climb trees. Kakashi understands, but if Naruto can't climb trees, then Kakashi won't believe it. You know, it sounds like Naruto at the end of the crane, but he has always been the most amazing one. Moreover, the last survival exercise also let Kakashi know that Naruto's strength has already surpassed Sasuke and little Sakura by a large margin, including the mind. Through the last rebellious attack, Kakashi was able to confirm his own thoughts. This three-person team sounds like the tail of the crane. Naruto is a shortboard, and the genius is Uchiha Sasuke. But in fact, the best person is Uzumaki Naruto. Such Naruto, if he can't climb trees, he shouldn't. Kakashi nodded and waved to Naruto on the tree, indicating that Naruto can come down. Come down. Naruto jumped down. Then, Kakashi looked at Naruto, thought for a while and said, "Since you have learned how to climb trees, I will arrange for you to practice other things. Come with me, let's change places. Sasuke, little Sakura, you continue to practice." After speaking, Kakashi was about to leave with Naruto. Seeing the back of Naruto leaving with Kakashi, Sasuke gritted his teeth unwillingly and opened his eyes wide. Unwilling to admit defeat, he soon started the cycle of falling from the tree again. Little Sakura, on the other hand, looked at Naruto's back with brilliant eyes. Chapter 30. Self-taught, taught by Kakashi himself. Naruto looked at Kakashi walking in front of him and frowned. I don't know why Kakashi has to take himself to another place to practice alone. Isn't it good to practice with Sasuke and the others? Or, Kakashi has other plans and doesn't want Sasuke and little Sakura to know. Soon, Naruto knew the answer. After Kakashi brought Naruto to a place where Sasuke and the others could not see, he turned around, stopped, and stared at Naruto. Naruto was taken aback. Before he could speak, Kakashi said suddenly, Naruto, tell me, who is teaching you? Naruto froze when the voice sounded, and looked at Kakashi in astonishment. He didn't expect Kakashi to suddenly ask himself this question. Soon, Naruto reacted. Apparently, Kakashi thought he was so good because someone taught him silently behind his back. After all, even the genius Uchiha Sasuke has this ability because of the teachings of Uchiha Itachi and the training of Uchiha Fugaku in childhood. But Naruto is even better than Sasuke. Naruto grinned dumbly. Soon, Naruto replied, Ms. Kakashi, no one taught me. I learned it by myself. This time, it was Kakashi's turn to be stunned. After listening to Naruto's answer, Kakashi opened his eyes wide and looked at Naruto incredulously, as if looking at a monster, very surprised. You said you learned it by yourself? Kakashi glanced at Naruto in surprise and asked. Naruto nodded. Climbing trees too? Kakashi asked in disbelief. Naruto still nodded. He didn't lie to Kakashi about this. After all, no one really taught Naruto. The practice of climbing trees was also Naruto's own memory, slowly pondering, and began to practice. Although no one taught it was difficult at the beginning, Naruto learned it many years ago with his perseverance and shadow clones doubling experience. And this time Kakashi taught Sasuke them to climb trees and practice, and Naruto didn't mean to hide it. Because Naruto knew that based on his previous performance, it would be a bit too fake to say that he couldn't. It will also make Kakashi suspicious. That being the case, it would be better to say it directly, which would make Kakashi feel very honest. Well, I learned it myself. I often saw other ninjas walking on trees and water, so I practiced it myself for a while, Naruto said with a smile. Kakashi had just listened to Naruto's words and had to believe Naruto's words. Suddenly, he seemed to hear something even more remarkable. Kakashi suddenly opened his eyes wide, pupils full of shock and disbelief, opened his mouth wide, and asked in surprise, Wait, what did you say? You can also walk on water? Seeing Kakashi's aggressive reaction, Naruto froze for a moment, couldn't help but find it funny. Scratching his head in embarrassment, Naruto continued, Yes, I didn't say that. I saw other ninjas often walking on the water, so I practiced. Kakashi stared at Naruto speechlessly with eyes like looking at a monster. Although he had guessed that Naruto could climb trees, he never thought that Naruto had also learned to walk on water. You should know that although the practice method of walking on water is the same as that of climbing trees, you use chakra to attach to your feet and control your body weight to achieve water walking. But in fact, the difficulty of the two is very different. Walking on water is several times more difficult than climbing trees. Unexpectedly, Naruto even learned this. Kakashi shrugged helplessly, quite speechless. Originally, he took Naruto away because he wanted to teach Naruto to walk on water. Unexpectedly, Naruto has already learned. This is good, but it's really difficult for Kakashi, so that Kakashi doesn't know what to teach Naruto. You guy, are you really the crane tail of the ninja school? Kakashi shook his head helplessly, looked at Naruto rather speechlessly, and sighed. Naruto smiled and said nothing. When he was in ninja school, he didn't show anything, he didn't participate in anything, he didn't compete. In addition, the liberal arts scores are also deliberately poor, and the parents of the students do not let them get close to Naruto and regard Naruto as a different kind. Over time, everyone thinks that he is the tail of the crane. Kakashi thought for a moment and said quickly, Well, since you have already learned it, you don't need to practice with them anymore. You and I are responsible for the safety of Dazna. By the way, you are by my side during this period, and I will teach you something myself. Kakashi's words stunned Naruto for a moment. Naruto originally thought that Kakashi would let go of it because he taught Sasuke and small Sakura that Naruto had already learned it in advance. Unexpectedly, Kakashi is willing to teach himself. Is this the teacher's care? This is the first time someone is willing to teach Naruto how to practice. Naruto touched slightly and nodded. Kakashi patted Naruto's shoulder with a smile and said, Okay, you go back first. I'll take a look at Sasuke and little Sakura's cultivation. Starting tomorrow, I will teach you personally. Good. After Naruto nodded, he turned and left after speaking. Looking at Naruto's receding back, Kakashi couldn't help but sigh with emotion, and there was also a look of nostalgia in his eyes, Teacher, is this your child? His talent is even better than yours. Chapter 31. The mission of the Kingdom of Waves is completed. Return to Konoha. Shortly after Naruto returned to Dazina's house, Kakashi came back with little Sakura for dinner. Today is just to teach them how to practice, and the formal practice will start tomorrow. Strangely, Sasuke didn't come back with little Sakura. Listening to what Kakashi said, everyone can know that Sasuke is probably stimulated by Naruto's outstanding performance, and he wants to practice all night in the forest. It is really hard work, but Kakashi wouldn't let him go hungry. After they finished eating, they sent someone to deliver it to Sasuke. During the period, Dazna's grandson, Inari, also made noise for a while, shouting that Konoha shinobi can't save the country of waves. Naruto and the others didn't bother to pay attention to this brat. He didn't have time to solve Iruka's problems. The day passed quickly. Early the next morning, Datsuna and Kakashi set off together, taking Naruto to the Naminokuni Bridge. On the way, Kakashi has already started to explain various knowledge about ninjas to Naruto, and also taught Naruto a few common ninjutsu Indian styles from time to time. After arriving at the Nanakuni Bridge, Kakashi soon discovered that what he just said, Naruto has been mastered, including those simple ninjutsu that Naruto can also perform. Seeing this scene, Kakashi couldn't help being surprised, and couldn't help thinking to himself, he still underestimated Naruto's talent. So, Kakashi took a deep breath and decided to start teaching Naruto Chakra's nature transformation now. Actually, Kakashi can't teach Naruto anything anymore. Whether it's ninjutsu or taijutsu, Kakashi knows it, and Naruto has basically learned it already. Even in some places, it is better than Kakashi. Even Kakashi's signature self-made ninjutsu, Chidori, Naruto also used Shadow Clone to study successfully some time ago. Therefore, Naruto is also pretending now, pretending that he doesn't know how to do it. However, Naruto is still willing to listen to some of the knowledge Kakashi said. After all, this is the first time someone explained to him about ninja knowledge in detail, some of which he had never heard of in ninja school, which just made up for Naruto's blind spot. Time flies. While Kakashi was teaching Naruto, he also did not forget to visit Sasuke and little Sakura. After little Sakura learned how to climb a tree, she also came to Darsna's side with Naruto to be responsible for Darsna's safety. During the period, Kakashi was also looking for news about Zabuza, trying to find traces of Zabuza in the Kingdom of Waves, so that they could attack and solve hidden dangers. However, no matter how Kakashi searched and searched, he couldn't find any trace of Zabuzan, as if Zabuzan had really left the land of waves. Kakashi didn't know, after Zabuzan left that time, he had really left the country of waves to hide in accordance with Naruto's order. Therefore, during the period when Dazina was building the bridge, everyone lived comfortably. During the process, Kaido sent a few waves of rogues to harass them, but these people are not even ninjas, and little Sakura can solve them all by himself. Kaido is also stupid. If he doesn't kill him, he will disappear. He still dares to stay in the Kingdom of Waves, and take up the idea of the Kingdom of Waves. They didn't bother to inquire about what kind of people came to protect Dazna and the others, and why they suddenly disappeared if they didn't kill them. Finally, the Naruto Bridge is about to be completed, and Naruto's mission is almost over. Before completing the task, Kakashi also knew that although they protected Dazna and successfully built the bridge, Kaido would monopolize the land of waves again sooner or later. The rest can only rely on Dazna and the others to fight against Kaido, and that is not something they should worry about. After all, ninjas usually cannot interfere in the lives of ordinary people, let alone this is something outside of the task. But Kakashi was also kind, and want to help Dazna and the others to intimidate Kaido, so that Kaido would not dare to act recklessly. But what Kakashi didn't expect was that shortly after he threatened Kaido, Naruto attacked again with his back foot as soon as he left. Naruto was not as merciful as Kakashi. After seeing Kaido, he couldn't help but kill him directly. This is the richest man, and the money he has amassed is countless. After killing Kadwa, Naruto searched for Kadwa's money by the way, and got a lot of money, which was much more than the remuneration for their small task. This is the first fund he used to start the plan. Money is essential to build an army. Therefore, after Naruto found Zabukin with the money he had collected, he secretly handed over most of the money to Vice Admiral, so that Zabukin would do his best to build an army he could use. No matter how smart you are, you know what to do. Naruto asked several times again, telling him not to cut his next plan, and then leave directly. Soon, the Wave Country Bridge was finally completed. The mission of the Kingdom of Waves was also declared over. Sasuke's tree climbing practice is finally completed. During this period, although Kakashi was teaching Naruto chakra nature transformation, he did not hand Chidori to Naruto. I don't know if he thinks Naruto can't learn it, or he thinks it's too early to teach Naruto. But Naruto doesn't care, because he has already learned it. Naruto and the others are also preparing to leave after the construction of the Nami Country Bridge is completed. Prosperity and liveliness once again resumed in the Land of Waves. Dasna was very grateful, claiming that Naruto and Konoha Inga should be friends, but this is all a later story, and it has nothing to do with Naruto and the others. After protecting Datsuna and building the Namakuni Bridge, Kakashi and Naruto also left quickly and embarked on the journey back to Konoha. However, Kakashi and the others didn't know that they had just left the country of Naruto, and they sneaked in quietly according to Naruto's order. Although he expelled Kadwa, he also allowed Zaibujan to settle in completely. No longer cut, he followed Naruto's instructions and started to operate secretly. It's just that no one knows. The country of Bo is still prosperous, and the surface is extremely peaceful. But in fact, there is already a new owner here. 1. To stir up the ninja world and destroy Konoha's new master. Here, it has become the first starting point of the Naruto plan. Chapter 32. Hinata. After a long absence, I returned to Konoha. Seeing the familiar environment, little Sakura laughed happily. They have benefited a lot from the Bwaji Kingdom and his party. They not only learned how to climb trees, but also met powerful ninjas from other villages. In particular, the deterrent Zabujan gave them left a deep impression on them. It also made them deeply aware of their current weakness. Except, of course, Naruto. Seeing the little Sakura and Sasuke exhale easily, Kakashi smiled, and knew that the two children were vigilant day and night for repeated attacks, which took a lot of effort. Immediately, Kakashi said, "The task is completed. You go to the barbecue shop and wait for me. We will celebrate later. I will go to 3rd Hokage to hand in the task, and report the information by the way." Little Sakura nodded happily. After Kakashi finished speaking, he turned and left. "Naruto, Sasuke, let's go," little Sakura said enthusiastically. When the three of them came to the barbecue restaurant, they found that there were still a few familiar figures in the barbecue restaurant. That's Asuma and Kurenai Yuhi, and their Genin team, Hinata and Shikamaru. Seeing that Xiaoqiang, who graduated together, is also here, Naruto and the others couldn't help being slightly surprised. The little Sakura is very familiar, and said hello quickly. "Hey, Ino, why are you here too?" Ino was also surprised for a while when he saw little Sakura and the others running over. But soon Ino reacted and replied proudly, "We have completed 3 or 4 D-level commission tasks. In order to reward us for our hard work these days, Teacher Asuma specially came to invite us to eat barbecue." Hinata and the others did too. Hearing what Ino said, little Sakura suddenly realized and nodded. Soon, Ino looked at the little Sakura with a smile again, and some little girls asked in comparison, "Little Sakura, how many missions have you completed?" Ino's words did not discourage little Sakura. On the contrary, little Sakura puffed up her chest with great confidence and pride, and said braggingly, "1. However, what we completed was a sea-level mission, and we also encountered rebellious ninjas, one of whom was a very powerful rebellious ninja, and he was one of the legendary Mist Shinobi 7 people." Hearing little Sakura's words, Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma, who were still talking on the side, were startled, and looked at little Sakura and Naruto in disbelief. The two looked at each other, seeing the surprise in each other's eyes. Others don't know who the ghost is, so how could they Jonin not know? That's the ruthless character who assassinated 4th Mizukage. Little Sakura and the others encountered such a terrible enemy in the mission they performed. I really don't know how dangerous their mission is this time. Fortunately, Kakashi followed. However, even for Kakashi, it would be very difficult to protect them while fighting Zabuzen. However, Asuma and Yuihong don't know that Kakashi is not the one who beats back the ghost. It's Naruto. Naruto not only defeated and never killed, but also took it for his own use. If the two of them knew the news, they would probably scare ya. They couldn't believe it. Asuma and Kurenai Yuhi immediately became interested in the mission that Sakura said, and they couldn't wait for Kakashi to come over and ask what happened to them during this trip to the country of Nami. Ino and the others were also surprised, looking at little Sakura enviously. After all, they just became genin, and they couldn't even accept sea-level tasks. Not to mention, you can also meet ninjas from other villages. Naruto looked helplessly at the little Sakura who was showing off his chatter, and when he heard the little Sakura exaggerate what happened to them, he shook his head helplessly, ignored it, and just found a place to sit down. Soon, amidst the passionate discussion among everyone, Kakashi responded. Seeing Kakashi's appearance, Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma rushed forward enthusiastically and asked Kakashi about the mission. They knew that if there was such a dangerous rebellion in the mission, it would definitely not be as simple as a sea-level mission. Looking at the two jonin from 8 trigrams, Kakashi cast his eyes at the little Sakura who was still showing off speechlessly, shook his head, and had no choice but to talk about the mission process. When Asuma and Kurini Yuhi heard what Kakashi said about Naruto's superior performance, both of them looked at Naruto involuntarily in surprise. Neither of them expected that Naruto, who has always been regarded as the tail of the crane, would perform so well in the task. While everyone was chattering and sharing interesting stories about the mission, Naruto sat quietly, drinking beer alone, feeling very comfortable. At this moment, a timid and shy voice suddenly came from Naruto's ear. Naruto-kun. Naruto was stunned for a moment, followed the voice, and soon found the delicate girl sitting on the side. The girl lowered her head shyly, poking her fingers, looking at Naruto from time to time. This girl is none other than Hinata, the young master of the Hyuga family. Seeing Hinata talk to him, Naruto smiled lightly and said gently, "What's the matter, Hinata?" Hinata looked at Naruto shyly, with a little worry in her shy eyes, and asked in a low voice, "Naruto-kun, are you not injured?" Naruto was taken aback. He didn't expect Hinata to ask himself this. Hearing the excitement of little Sakura and the others next to him, Naruto quickly understood. It seems that Hinata heard little Sakura talking about how dangerous Naruto and his party are, so she was worried about whether Naruto was injured, so she summoned up the courage to ask. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but smile slightly, and his heart was touched. This is the first time someone cares about himself. Then, Naruto replied, "Don't worry, Hinata, I'm fine." Hearing Naruto's response, Hinata was stunned for a moment. Her cute face flushed quickly. She lowered her head shyly, played with her fingers, and said, That's good." Looking at the shy and beautiful Hinata, Naruto couldn't help but smile, and reached out to touch Hinata's long hair. Feeling the temperature of Naruto's palm, Hinata's body trembled, but he didn't stop Naruto. Instead, she lowered her head obediently and remained silent, as if she had agreed by default, but her pretty face was even more blushing. Chapter 33. The upcoming Chunin exam. After everyone was eating, drinking, and having fun, suddenly, Asuma on the other side called them, saying, "You guys, come here. I have something to tell you." Asuma looked drunk, her face was red, and she waved her hand to greet the genin. The genin who were talking enthusiastically heard Asuma's call, and were stunned for a moment, looked at Asuma in bewilderment, and moved over. After everyone arrived, Asuma looked at everyone mysteriously and smiled with relief. "It's almost time to eat and drink. It happens that everyone is here, so I will tell you something quietly in advance." Everyone was taken aback for a moment, and they all raised their spirits, wanting to see what Asuma had to say. Asuma cleared his throat, coughed a few times, and then said seriously, "After a while, it will be the semi-annual Chunin exam. Do you want to take it?" As soon as Asuma finished speaking, everyone was stunned and looked at each other. No one dared to speak out. "Chunin, it's a bit too early for these little ghosts who have just become genin." But before anyone could ask a question, Asuma looked at them with relief and said, "I know that you have just become genin, and some of you have not fully adapted to the life of a ninja. I also said that the Chunin exam will be held for a while. During this period, you can hone yourself well." Asuma glanced around and looked at everyone, all with a look of satisfaction, and continued, "Actually, this Chunin exam may be a bit too early for you, and you can skip this exam and take the next round of senior high school exams. However, I still hope that you can actively participate. After all, in my eyes here, you are the best, the most outstanding, and the highest overall strength in the class I have led. I think it's not bad for you to experience the Chunin exam this time. This is why I told you in advance. You still have time. You can prepare in advance." Asuma's words silenced everyone. Everyone took a few deep breaths, and there was burning expectation and urgency in their eyes. Everyone here wants to prove themselves very much. Prove their excellence, and prove that they can become excellent ninjas. Especially Sasuke, the group from Naminokuni let him know that his current strength is far from enough, and he wants to hone himself and quickly improve his strength in this Chunin exam. Looking at the expectant eyes of the genins around, Asuma, Kakashi, and Kuroyuki seemed to know the answer of the genins. All three smiled in satisfaction and nodded secretly. Then, Asuma asked, "What do you think?" As soon as Asuma finished speaking, Ino couldn't wait to say, "Mr. Asuma, I want to participate. Little Sakura has already performed sea-level missions, and I want to hone myself faster." "Ah, it's so troublesome. Hearing such positive words from his teammates, Shikamaru complained. I want to participate too. I can't lose to Ino. Little Sakura also said positively. Asuma and the others nodded in satisfaction and said with relief, okay, I knew you would be like this. It's not in vain for me to tell you in advance. Next, you have to improve yourself and strive for a good performance in the Chunin exam. These words have already ignited the fighting spirit of the genin. The genin were all shouting, wanting to achieve their satisfactory results in the Chunin exam. Soon, several genin began to discuss enthusiastically how to practice next, and Asuma and the 3 jonin also expressed that they would guide them. While the Zyokyings were cheering and looking forward to the upcoming Chunin exam, Kakashi looked at Asuma, who was beaming with joy, and said suavely, you tell the genin the news in advance, whether it's cheating or not. I'm not afraid that Master Hokage will blame you. Asuma scratched her head embarrassingly and said drunkenly, haha, the old man probably won't care about this. Besides, they are really outstanding, and it is worth telling them in advance. I am very much looking forward to their performance in this Chunin exam. Master Hokage will also want to see Konoha Genin's prosperous side. Yuha nodded at the side, looked around at Xiaoqiang, and finally fixed on Naruto, who was sitting quietly at the side. His eyes were blurred. She always felt that Naruto might be better than what Kakashi said, because this boy looks too mature. Mature enough to be out of tune with the genins around. The genin were already excitedly discussing countermeasures and training plans because of the upcoming Chunin exam. On the other hand, Naruto sat quietly on the side unmoved, like an outsider who sees through the world. Asuma noticed Kuriko's gaze and asked, Red, what are you thinking? Hong froze for a moment, looked back, shook his head and smiled and said lightly, nothing, I wonder if we know too little about Naruto. Hearing Kurenai Yuhi's words, both Asuma and Kakashi were shocked. His eyes involuntarily looked at Naruto, who was quiet at the side. That's right, Yui Hong was right. They still know too little about Naruto. Before they became genin, they almost forgot about this child who carried the hope of the 4th generation, sacrificed himself, and sealed the 9 tails but suffered unfair treatment. Even Kakashi, who often pays attention to Naruto, pays less and less attention to Naruto because of his busy tasks and the pain of losing his companion. And now, they felt that the 3 jonin couldn't see through Naruto, the genin. Chapter 34. In fact, Naruto is also looking forward to the Chunin exam, because this is also part of his plan. It's just that Naruto didn't act as excited as little Sakura and the others. The so-called Chunin exam, on the surface, is an assessment to test whether genin can become a Chunin. In fact, it is a method used by the major villages to observe the combat power and potential of other villages, and to collect useful information. Naruto also knows this. After everyone ate and drank, soon, the genin and their guide jonin also slowly dispersed. Everyone bid farewell one after another, and went home in anticipation to prepare the practice plan. In the end, there were only Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto, and little Sakura left in the yakiniku restaurant. It's not that Naruto and the others didn't want to leave, but Kakashi stopped them on purpose, as if he had something to say. After everyone left, Kakashi came to Naruto and the others, looked at the 3 of them with a smile and said, have you heard what Asuma said just now? The Chunin exam is about to start. Do you want to take it too? Little Sakura and Sasuke nodded heavily. Seeing this, Kakashi nodded, quite satisfied in his heart. Soon, Kakashi continued, okay, since you want to participate, then you have to hurry up and practice. Also, you can't take the Chunin exam if you just want to take it. You still need to do a few D-level tasks to improve your performance. Otherwise, when you sign up, you will just fill in the task and only do 1 or 2 tasks. That would be a shame to me. The little Sakura and Sasuke also knew this truth. Hearing that Kakashi asked them to do more D-level missions, Sasuke didn't object this time. After all, the Chunin exam is about to begin. No matter what task to do, as long as there is free time for them to practice. Seeing that Sasuke and none of them objected, Kakashi nodded and continued. By the way, I have a secret mission to go out these few days. So, only the 3 of you can take the mission. Hearing Kakashi's words, Sasuke, Naruto, and little Sakura were all taken aback, and each of them looked at Kakashi with different eyes. Soon, little Sakura looked at Kakashi with dissatisfaction and complained, Mr. Kakashi, didn't Mr. Asuma just say that you were going to guide us in cultivation? How can you guide us when you are not here? When Sasuke heard it, he also frowned, a little dissatisfied. Kakashi smiled embarrassingly, scratched his head, and said, hey, there's no way, Jonin is always busy. I've told Asuma and Karini Yuhi that they can give you some advice when they have time. When you're free to complete the task, you can ask them directly if you don't understand anything. Don't worry, I'll be back soon, at least before the Chunin exam. Listening to Kakashi's unreliable words, Sakura and the others helplessly shook their heads. Sasuke's eyes flickered, as if he was thinking about something. And Naruto looked at Kakashi, thought for a while, and guessed what Kakashi was going to do. Since the Chunin exam is about to start, Kakashi also said to come back before the exam. Perhaps, the task performed by Kakashi is related to the Chunin exam. Before little Sakura could speak, Kakashi continued, Okay, I believe you. If I'm not here, your cultivation will gradually improve. From tomorrow onwards, the three of you will go to pick up the task together. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. After finishing speaking, Kakashi didn't wait for little Sakura to complain. A body flicker technique, and instantly disappeared in place. Looking at Kakashi, who suddenly disappeared, little Sakura stomped her feet angrily and muttered with her small mouth, Damn, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto, Sasuke, what are you going to do? Little Sakura asked Sasuke and Naruto on the side. Practice, I'm going back first, Sasuke said lightly, and was about to get up and go home. From the looks of it, Sasuke seems to have made a training plan. Seeing Sasuke's indifferent look, little Sakura was stunned for a moment, then turned to look at Naruto again. I saw Naruto shrugged and said with a faint smile, Do the task slowly. After speaking, Naruto was also ready to go home. Naruto didn't care whether Kakashi could teach them how to practice. After all, Kakashi can't teach him anything, and Naruto also has his own way of cultivation, and his cultivation has never fallen behind and never stopped. Just when Naruto just walked out of the barbecue shop and was about to go home, suddenly, a system ding-ding sounded in Naruto's mind. Ding? The next random check-in location will be refreshed soon. Ding. The random check-in location has been refreshed. Sign-in location. Hyuga Clan, Hinata Bedroom. Chapter 35. After the system's prompt sounded, Naruto froze for a moment and opened his mouth wide in astonishment. Check-in location, Hinata's bedroom? Wouldn't this be asking myself to check in at Hinata's room? Glancing at the time, the moonlit night is now in the sky, and the party has just ended. Now Hinata has arrived home, ready to wash and rest. Maybe he fell asleep already. Do I want to secretly sign in Hinata's boudoir when she is asleep? Naruto shook his head and carefully determined where to sign in several times. The answer he got was undoubtedly Hinata's dormitory, and after confirming that he was not wrong just now, he exhaled. At this hour, it would be even worse if Hinata hadn't slept yet. But you can't fail to sign in. If you don't sign in at the random sign-in location, it will always exist. The next check-in location will not be refreshed either. Moreover, the rewards for each random check-in are very rich, which can bring a huge improvement to Naruto. Under the current environment, Naruto urgently needs to improve his strength. So, Naruto took a deep breath and decided to try the Hyuga clan at night. Soon, after Naruto breathed out, he decided to set off, leaving little Sakura who was still thinking about his training plan. The Hyuga clan. As one of Konoha's famous families, the Hyuga clan is also very heavily guarded. It's so late, and there are ninjas from the Hyuga clan patrolling and watching. When Naruto came here, he saw the ninjas of the Hyuga clan, and immediately lurked first. He knows the strength of the Hyuga clan. As Konoha's top fighting clan, the Hyuga clan possesses a powerful blood succession limit and pupil technique, white eyes. Bayin's detection ability and auxiliary ability are extremely strong. After cultivating to the point of ultimate, not to mention having a 360 viewing angle, you can also see the flow of chakra in the surrounding environment, and you can even see the meridian nerves and acupuncture points of the ninja. Not only that, but Bayin can also multiply the ability of insight through the strengthening of chakra, and can see things with a radius of more than 1 kilometer. Its insight ability is unsurpassed. Naruto also knew that the Hyuga clan's white eye detection ability was strong. Even a patrolling ninja should not be underestimated. So he did not act rashly. Instead, he exhaled on the spot and prepared to cast a few kaido to hide his figure and cover his chakra. Then, Naruto said silently in his heart, the 26th of Bakudo, Bent Light. By Fu. The 26th Bakudo, Bent Light, is a concealed kaido used to hide the figure of the caster, so that people cannot see the body. And Bai Fu is used to hide breath and chakra. After casting these two kaido, Naruto's figure seems to disappear in the eyes of others. Especially Bai Fu, the kaido who hides chakra, was originally used by Ikemara Jin to deceive Aizen, making Aizen believe that he killed Ranjaku and cast a high-level kaido, the mystery is self-evident. With his current strength displayed, Naruto is also confident that he can fool Bayin's investigation. Not to mention, the patrolling ninja is just an ordinary member of the Hyuga family, and the white eyes have not been cultivated to the point where Naruto is more confident that he will not be discovered by him. After casting, Naruto took a deep breath and started to act. After the figure cleverly escaped the detection of the Hyuga family patrolling ninjas, Naruto lurked into the Hyuga mansion. The Hyuga family is worthy of being a famous family, and the residential area of the mansion is also very spacious. The courtyard alone is enough to be used as a training ground. After quietly entering the mansion, Naruto began to detect Hinata's breath and found Hinata's position. Naruto walked over quietly. Through the window, Naruto saw the scene in Hinata's boudoir. All I saw was that Hinata was already lying down, covered with a quilt, breathing lightly, her beautiful eyelashes fluttering slightly, and she looked gentle and quiet as if she had fallen asleep. Seeing this, Naruto exhaled. If Hinata hadn't fallen asleep, it would be difficult, but fortunately Hinata seemed to have fallen asleep. Gently pushing the door open without making a sound, Naruto walked in slowly, for fear of alarming Hinata. After entering Hinata's room, Naruto took a look. Hinata's room is very simple, with large and small decorations, as well as hangers, wardrobes, and dressing tables. It is worthy of a girl's room, and there is nothing missing. On the hanger, hung the clothes Hinata was wearing today, including underwear and so on. Seeing the pink model, Naruto couldn't help but blush, and a burst of anger surged up. Apparently, Hinata has changed clothes and gone to sleep. After taking a few deep breaths, Naruto tried to calm himself down, then closed his eyes and said silently in his heart, "System, sign in at the Hinata room." After a while, the voice of the system sounded in my mind. Ding! Signing in for host in Hinata's dormitory. Ding! Congratulations to host for signing in successfully in Hinata's dormitory. Get the reward. Teigu Pumpkin Romance Fortress. Get the reward. Mangekyo Sharingan Awakening Card. Rewarded. Byakuya Kuchiki Template Experience 3.7%. 89.7% of the Byakuya Kuchiki Template has been unlocked, plus 3.7% bonus for signing in. Congratulations to host for unlocking the Byakuya Kuchiki Template to 93.4%. The remaining rewards have been sent to the system space, and the host can check them at any time. Chapter 36, Hinata, the Smell. After hearing the system's words, Naruto took a breath, and the surprise flooded into his eyes. The rewards for signing in this time can be described as unprecedentedly rich. Whether it is the Teigu Pumpkin Romance Fort or the Mangekyo Sharingan Evolution Card, its abilities are all first-class and powerful. Every reward is enough to rank among the top few among all Naruto sign-in rewards. Teigu Pumpkin Romance Fortress is Ma Yin's Teigu in the red pupil. Its ability is a gun-shaped Teigu that transforms the user's mental energy into shock waves. The stronger the user's spiritual energy, the more terrifying Teigu's power will be. Not only that, but this Teigu has a special place. That is, when the user of Teigu is in a crisis situation, the power of Teigu will also be strengthened accordingly. In other words, the higher the user's crisis level, the more powerful the romantic fort will be. To what extent it will be strengthened in the end, no one knows. Moreover, Teigu Romantic Paotai's ability is not limited to this. There are many secrets in switching the form of spear and sword, etc., which is very practical and a rare treasure. Not to mention the Mangekyo Sharingan. This is the supreme pupil technique of the Uchiha family, the power obtained after the awakening of the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Several times stronger than Sharingan. Mangekyo Sharingan, legend has it that only the host of Sharingan has experienced huge negative emotions and produced a special chakra to open it. After opening the Mangekyo, not only has the power greatly improved, far beyond the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, it can also produce the ability to adapt to the host. Legend has it that the person who has activated Mangekyo has such powerful pupils that he can even control 9 tails. This is enough to illustrate the power of Mangekyo Sharingan. However, such a powerful force also has a high risk. That is the master of Mangekyo. As Mangekyo is used more often, the eyes will gradually become dark, that is, blind. However, Naruto is not too worried about this. He has a god-level sign-in, and sooner or later he will be able to evolve Mangekyo Sharingan to Eternal Mangekyo. Even if you can't check in, Naruto has other ways to upgrade Mangekyo, and the unlocking progress of Byakuya Kuchiki's template has increased by 3.7% again, and the unlocking degree of the template has exceeded 90%, as high as 93.4%. This also brought a huge improvement to Naruto, and Shinigami's skills have also been strengthened one after another. Naruto exhaled, enjoying the fruit of joy he received. Just when Naruto was sorting out the reward information obtained by signing in, a timid and shy voice suddenly sounded, interrupting Naruto's thoughts. Yes, is that Naruto-kun? Hearing this voice, Naruto was taken aback and turned his head to look. Soon, I saw Hinata getting up, rubbing his eyes, and sleepy. Hinata blinked her beautiful eyes, looked around the room in confusion, and asked slightly puzzled. In Hinata's line of sight, Naruto cannot be seen, because Naruto used Kaido bent light and by fu to hide his figure. Even standing in front of Hinata, Hinata can't find it. Not to mention, Naruto is a little stronger now, and Kaido's application is even more masterful. But even so, Hinata can still detect Naruto's existence, which really makes Naruto feel incredible. Naruto didn't rush to reply because he noticed Hinata's confusion. Clearly, Hinata didn't see himself, and wasn't sure if he was here at all. After Hinata looked around for a week, doubts appeared in her little head. She blinked slightly, and said in a tender voice, "Strange. I clearly smell Naruto-kun." Hearing Hinata's words, Naruto's body shook, and he looked at Hinata with wide eyes in disbelief. So, did Hinata use the smell of her own body to perceive herself? This is too unbelievable. It simply surprised Naruto. You know, remembering a person's taste is not that simple. What's more, in his impression, the contact with Hinata is not very frequent. Moreover, he has completely concealed his breath, including his taste. It was only when I was surprised by the system's reward just now that I accidentally released a little bit. Unexpectedly, just this moment, Hinata could wake up from sleep by asking about the taste of Naruto. Naruto scratched his head, wondering if he should meet Hinata or not. But seeing that Hinata was still looking around, as if he couldn't see himself, and didn't want to sleep anymore, Naruto exhaled and decided to appear. All I saw was that with a wave of Naruto's hand, the effect of Bakudo bent light slowly disappeared, and Naruto's figure appeared. However, Naruto did not cancel by Fu's ability, and still hides his own chakra and breath, because he didn't want other members of the Hyuga family to find him, so as not to cause unnecessary trouble. Seeing Naruto's sudden appearance in the line of sight, Hinata was slightly startled, with an incredulous look in her beautiful eyes. The scene in front of her was like a dream. Naruto appeared in front of her out of thin air, still in her room. Moreover, she was not dressed yet, only wearing simple and thin pajamas. Thinking of this, Hinata blushed suddenly, lowered her head shyly and flusteredly, and quickly covered herself with the quilt. Naruto-kun, why are you in my room? Seeing the shy and flustered Hinata who hesitated, Naruto couldn't help but smiled and said, "It's me, Hinata." Hinata blinked, looked at Naruto confusedly and shyly, and asked, "Naruto-kun, how did you get in here?" Naruto touched his nose in embarrassment. It was really impolite to enter a girl's room in the middle of the night. Then, Naruto replied, "Use some small tricks, Hinata, don't make a sound. I don't want other Hyuga people to know. Don't worry, I came here without any malice. I just have important things to deal with," Naruto said, looked at Hinata's figure, suppressed Xiahua, and said. Hinata also noticed Naruto's gaze, tightened the quilt, and nodded shyly. She believed Naruto's words very much, and she was very obedient and did not ask Naruto's reason for coming. Although Naruto said there was something important, she didn't know what that important thing was, and since Naruto didn't want to say it, she wouldn't ask. Besides, Naruto didn't really do anything. Chapter 37. Awakening, Mangekyo Sharingan. From time to time, Hinata glanced at Naruto from the corner of her eye, lowering her head shyly. The awkward atmosphere lasted for a while in the room, making both of them very uncomfortable. Soon, just when Naruto was about to say something, suddenly, shy Hinata broke the silence first and said softly, "Naruto-kun, are you done with your work?" Naruto was taken aback, smiled faintly, nodded and said, Then I'll take you out." Hinata raised her head slightly, her beautiful eyes flickered. She looked at Naruto shyly and said. Naruto was stunned for a moment, and after thinking about it, he felt that it was not impossible, so he nodded and said, "Okay, but I will hide myself from now on so that no one will find out." Hearing that Naruto agreed, Hinata nodded happily. Just when Hinata was about to get up, it suddenly occurred to her that she was only wearing pajamas. Seeing Naruto's gaze, Hinata's face flushed quickly. Naruto touched his nose in embarrassment, pointed at Hinata, and said, "Hinata, do you want to change clothes?" Hinata nodded shyly, lowered her head, shy and silent. Naruto-kun, turn around first. After the meeting, Hinata said to Naruto shyly. Naruto quickly understood, smiled awkwardly, and quickly turned around without looking at Hinata. Just when Naruto turned around, he heard the sound of dressing behind him, and soon, Hinata's voice sounded again. Naruto-kun, it's done? Naruto nodded and turned his head to look. I saw that Hinata had already put on the soft and beautiful clothes she wore during the day, standing delicately. Curious, Naruto couldn't help but glanced at the hanger and found that the pink model was no longer there, and it was obviously worn by Hinata. Noticing Naruto's gaze, Hinata seemed to be aware of what Naruto saw just now. Her little face was flushed like a ripe apple. Naruto-kun, let's go. Hinata blushed, poked her fingers, and said shyly and flusteredly. Naruto froze for a moment, quickly looked away, and nodded with an embarrassed smile. Led by Hinata, the two quietly walked out of the room. Before coming out, Naruto had cast bent light again to hide his figure. After casting bent light, Naruto disappeared again, making Hinata invisible to him. Seeing this scene, Hinata was slightly surprised. Even though she rolled her eyes, she couldn't find where Naruto was. But fortunately, she knew that Naruto was by her side, so she didn't panic. Instead, she felt a little surprised by this scene, and wondered how Naruto did it very curiously. Soon, the two walked out of the Hyuga clan's mansion. During the period, although Hinata encountered patrolling ninjas, he was a little worried that Naruto would be discovered. But in fact, her worries were unnecessary. The patrolling ninja could only see Hinata alone, and he didn't feel suspicious. What's more, Naruto also used Kido's bent light and Baifu to hide himself, so the patrolling ninja couldn't find it. Hinata simply told the patrolling ninja that he was just going out for a walk and would come back soon, and left soon. Even so, Hinata took a deep breath. It wasn't until he reached a place not far from Hyuga's mansion that Naruto called Hinata and stopped. Hinata, send it here. Hearing Naruto's voice, Hinata was taken aback for a moment, then stopped immediately and nodded shyly. Naruto still didn't appear, because he noticed that Hyuga's patrolling ninja eyes were watching here with wide eyes. Maybe the patrolling ninja was worried about Hinata's safety, so he kept watching with blank eyes. It doesn't matter, as long as Naruto doesn't show up, he won't be able to find out. Then I'm leaving, Hinata. You should go back and rest quickly, it's getting late. Naruto smiled lightly. Hinata lowered her head slightly, and said softly, Okay, then, Naruto-kun, be careful on the road. After Naruto nodded, he touched Hinata's head slightly. Feeling the temperature of Naruto's palm, Hinata's body trembled. However, she didn't change. Instead, she was very well behaved and enjoyed it a bit. But her face became even more blushing and lowered even more. Then, Naruto-shunpa, get out of here. After Naruto left, Hinata stood there for more than half an hour before turning around and going home. Call. After Shunpa disappeared, Naruto quickly returned home, lying on the bed, and also canceled the hiding of Kido bent light and Shirafu. Thinking of the wonderful experience tonight, Naruto couldn't help smiling while staring at the ceiling in a daze. Then, Naruto closed his eyes and began to process the harvest of the night. The first is the Mangekyo Sharingan Awakening card, which has not yet been used in the system space. At that time in the Hyuga clan, if Mangekyo was awakened, if one did not hide well, it would be bad if the Hyuga clan discovered it. Now back home, Naruto can also evolve Sharingan with peace of mind. System, use the Mangekyo Sharingan Awakening card. Naruto muttered silently in his heart. Soon, the system's voice sounded. Ding, using the Mangekyo Sharingan Evolution card. Used successfully, evolving to Mangekyo Sharingan for Host Awakening. Chapter 38. Studying in the morning. After the system sound sounded, Naruto immediately felt a huge amount of information and power pouring into his mind. There was also a burning sensation in my eyes, and chakra also surged out, converging towards my eyes. Immediately afterwards, in an instant, a huge pupil power burst out from Naruto's eyes suddenly. Naruto also opened his eyes suddenly at this moment. All I could see was a pair of blue eyes slowly turning into scarlet, and 3 Tomoe appeared on the scarlet pupils. Very strange. Sharingan, turn on. Not only that, but the changes in Sharingan don't stop there. After the 3 black hook jades appeared, they quickly began to rotate at high speed. All the huge pupil power is also gathering at this moment, pouring into the eyes. Soon, the high-speed 3 Tomoe Sharingan began to change. The originally pitch-black 3-pointed jade slowly formed the shape of a 6-pointed star. A special power was born spontaneously. Mangekyo Sharingan, awaken. After the Mangekyo Sharingan awakened, Naruto blinked the hexagram-shaped Mangekyo, scanning everything around him. All I can see is that in Naruto's sight, everything seems to be still, very quiet and slow. Naruto can see everything clearly, including the dust in the room. The dust can be easily caught by Naruto, and he can also carefully see their whereabouts. This is the power of Mangekyo Sharingan. Insight and various abilities have been greatly improved. It is several times stronger than 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and it doesn't stop there. Naruto felt that when he activated Mangekyo, it was as if with a thought, wherever his eyes passed, a pitch-black sea of flames could be burned. Moreover, there are many other abilities that have not been used yet. Naruto took a deep breath, feeling the power of Mangekyo. The abilities of each pair of Mangekyo are unique. Of course, there is no shortage of repetitions. Naruto only felt that his left eye seemed to be able to release Amaterasu, and his right eye? Naruto took a closer look and found that the ability of his right eye seemed to be related to space. And he had a faint feeling that his pair of Mangekyo had more abilities and strength than that. There are still many places that have not been discovered. Mangekyo, indeed, is the highest pupil technique in the ninja world. Its power and ability far exceed Naruto's expectations. It will take a while to fully master Mangekyo. Naruto exhaled, feeling Mangekyo's marvelous power, and took it back. Fortunately, since Naruto became a ninja and Kakashi became Naruto's Gaijonin, Third Hokage didn't use the crystal ball to monitor himself very much. Otherwise, if Third Hokage sees the Uchiha Supreme Pupil technique that once made them dread appear on Naruto, I don't know how they will feel. I'm afraid they will be stunned. After taking back the Mangekyo, Naruto sorted out the information he had acquired in his mind during the day and prepared to rest. The night passed quickly. Early the next morning, Naruto got up early, prepared to wash up, have breakfast, and then went to meet Sasuke and little Sakura. Kakashi said that from today onwards, the 3 of them will be responsible for receiving the task. After washing up, Naruto was just about to go out. When he opened the door, he suddenly found a figure appeared in his field of vision. The figure has black hair, blue shorts, hands in pockets, and a grim look, obviously Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto was slightly surprised to see Uchiha Sasuke in front of his door. Sasuke was trembling all over, and the black hair was already covered with frost mist. Obviously, Sasuke had been waiting here early, waiting for Naruto to come out, without knocking on the door. Seeing that Naruto finally opened the door, Sasuke's body trembled, and he quickly raised his head, staring at Naruto. Seeing Sasuke, Naruto was stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect Sasuke to appear at his door. And he was still deliberately waiting for himself. This really surprised Naruto. Could it be that Sasuke, who is cold, proud, and defiant, also wants to feel the warmth of his companion at this moment, and specially comes to pick him up at the gate of Naruto, waiting for him to take the task together? Or does Sasuke have other plans? Naruto couldn't help looking at Sasuke curiously. Soon, Sasuke gave him the answer. Seeing that Naruto came out, Sasuke suddenly regained his spirits, fixed his eyes on Naruto. His eyes flickered, and seemed to be hesitating and struggling for something. Soon, Sasuke became firm, gritted his teeth, as if he had made a lot of determination, took a deep breath, and said, "Uzumaki Naruto, please teach me how to practice." Huh. Hearing Sasuke's words, Naruto opened his eyes wide, froze for a moment, and looked at Sasuke in astonishment. As if he couldn't believe it, the words just now were said by Sasuke. Naruto even suspected that he had heard it wrong. Uchiha Sasuke, who is an indifferent and arrogant genius, is deliberately waiting in front of him at this moment, not daring to disturb Naruto, waiting for Naruto to come out, and still determined to let Naruto teach him his cultivation. This is too incredible. Is this Sasuke's good practice plan last night? Seeing Naruto's surprised look, Sasuke took a deep breath, locked on Naruto, and said again, "Don't be surprised. This is my decision after careful consideration. I admit that you are stronger than me and better than me. Kakashi also told me in the Kingdom of Waves that there is a big gap between me and you. This gap cannot be made up after the completion of the Kingdom of Waves. I also listened to what I said at the beginning, because I underestimated you too much. I need strength. I need to become stronger quickly, to fulfill my ambition, to complete my revenge. I want revenge." Sasuke clenched his fists, showing fierce eyes. Then, Sasuke calmed down, stared at Naruto seriously, and said word by word, "So, I decided. Please teach me how to practice. Please teach me how to practice." Chapter 39. The Conditions of Cultivation, Shihihong's Care. Hearing Sasuke's words, Naruto froze for a moment, slightly surprised. Unexpectedly, in order to get revenge and quickly improve his strength, Sasuke would put down his face and come to him. What was even more unexpected was that Sasuke would be so sincere and honest to admit his mistakes and speak out about his shortcomings. Is this still the Uchiha Sasuke who is arrogant and self-confessed as a genius? It seems that Sasuke was greatly stimulated by what he experienced in the past few days, and made him realize his own inadequacy and weakness. That's why I made up my mind and put down my face to ask Naruto. Naruto looked at Sasuke, saw Sasuke's firm eyes, thought for a while, and didn't rush to agree. Instead, he asked a key question. Why should I help you? Sasuke was taken aback for a moment, and when he heard Naruto's words, he suddenly realized as if he had woken up from a start. At the same time, he lowered his head slightly, clenched his fists, and gritted his teeth unwillingly. Yep, Naruto was right. Why should he help Sasuke? Just because they are teammates? This is far from enough. You know, they are not relatives. Even before the Genin assessment, Sasuke has always looked down on Naruto. I think Naruto is a complete waste, a crane tail who doesn't make any progress, doesn't work hard at all, and drags the oil bottle. However, the gap between the two is so big now. Sasuke lowered his head unwillingly, gritted his teeth, and turned around in frustration. Just about to leave, suddenly, Naruto's words sounded again. I can help you. The voice was like the hope from the abyss, which made Sasuke enlightened. Turned around suddenly, opened his eyes wide, and looked at Naruto in disbelief and surprise. Seeing Sasuke's excited look, Naruto smiled and continued. However, as a reward for helping you, I need you to do one thing for me in the future. Sasuke nodded repeatedly, without hesitation, and said excitedly, Okay, I agree. No matter what it is, as long as it can help me, I will do anything. Hearing Sasuke's answer, Naruto nodded in satisfaction. This is also the result of Naruto's deliberation. Judging from Sasuke's current performance and Naruto's judgment, Sasuke is talented and more ambitious, and he, who was originally defiant, has now grown. Future achievements will definitely be higher than others imagined. In Naruto's future revenge plan, such talents are needed. This kind of talents with talent, future, and strength, who can help Naruto do some great things are needed. That's why Naruto chose to help Sasuke. Help Sasuke now, and get a powerful helper in the future, and Sasuke also promises to do whatever one asks for him. This deal couldn't be more cost-effective. Thinking of this, Naruto smiled and said lightly, Okay, starting today, I will try my best to help you practice and improve your strength. Hearing Naruto's words, Sasuke's expression burst into joy, and he couldn't help but smile. This is what he wants to do most now. Become stronger. Good. Thank you, thank you. Sasuke hesitated for a while, and decided to say thank you. Naruto nodded with a smile. After the two had a brief conversation, they went to the meeting place together. At the gate of Konoha, little Sakura has been waiting here early. Today was the first time they went to pick up the task by themselves. Little Sakura looked forward to it very much. Seeing Naruto and Sasuke walking over together, little Sakura was taken aback for a moment, looked at the two in surprise, and was even more curious in her heart when Naruto and Sasuke would chat together. What's more, the two of them talked often, which surprised little Sakura even more. Naruto, Sasuke, what are you doing? Little Sakura looked at the two in surprise and asked suspiciously. Before little Sakura finished speaking, Naruto interrupted little Sakura and said, It's been a long time, Sakura-chan. Let's go to 3rd Hokage to pick up the commission now. Little Sakura froze for a moment, then nodded. Naruto knew little Sakura's doubts, but he didn't have the heart to explain these things to little Sakura. After seeing little Sakura nodding, Naruto took little Sakura and Sasuke to the Hokage building. The Hokage building in the early morning is still full of people. Perhaps because Asuma had already mentioned the reason for the upcoming Chunin exam last night, Ino and Hinata and their teams also arrived at the Hokage building very early and diligently. When Ino and Hinata saw Naruto and the others rushing over, they immediately greeted each other enthusiastically. Little Sakura, Naruto, are you here to accept the commission? When Hinata saw Naruto, she lowered her head shyly and poked her fingers, as if thinking of the wonderful experience last night. Hearing Ino's words, the little Sakura also warmly greeted and started talking with Ino. Naruto saw the shy Hinata, smiled lightly, and walked over. Seeing that only Naruto and them were there, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura's guide Jonin Kakashi were not here, Ino asked suspiciously, Where's your teacher Jonin? Are the three of you here to pick up the mission? Little Sakura nodded, remembering Kakashi's unreliable words last night, and complained again. That's right. Mr. Kakashi left us to carry out the task by ourselves. So we have to pick it up and complete it by ourselves during this time. Asuma and Kurenai Yuhi seemed to have known the news for a long time, and were not surprised when they heard what little Sakura said. Yurihong's beautiful eyes moved, thought for a while, and suddenly said, "Why don't you come with us to execute the mission? With your participation, the efficiency of mission execution will be faster. I will personally explain to Third Hokage." Little Sakura was about to reply, but before she could open her mouth, Naruto suddenly said lightly, "No need, Teacher Yurihong. We can do it ourselves." Little Sakura was taken aback, and when she heard Naruto's polite refusal, she had no choice but to thank Kurenai Yuhi for her kindness. Being rejected by Naruto, Yurihong also froze for a moment, slightly surprised, and took a deep look at Naruto. She didn't say anything, just looked at Naruto, thought for a while, and then nodded. Naruto has his own reasons for rejecting Kurenai Yuhi. He will teach Sasuke how to practice next. If something is exposed and Kurenai Yuhi notices it, the loss outweighs the gain. Naruto doesn't know if Kurenai Yuhi will tell Third Hokage about her performance. However, just as Naruto finished thinking about it, he heard Kurenai Yuhi say again, "Since you want to do it yourself, it's better. That's fine, you guys are fine, but I will visit you often in my free time. If you need any help, you can just ask me. As the village guide Jonin, I also have the responsibility to take care of you for a while Kakashi is away. And compared with you, Hinata and Ya and the others will practice more diligently." Hong glared at Ya and the others and said with a soft snort. Chapter 40. It seems that after Hong learned about Naruto's performance last night, he has higher requirements for the genin he coaches. Hearing Hong's words, Ya scratched his head in embarrassment, not knowing what to say. They also seemed to know that Naruto and the others performed better than themselves, and couldn't find any words to refute Hong. However, Kiba still looked at Naruto and Sasuke unconvinced, as if he didn't believe that Naruto was as good as Sakura and Hong said. "It looks like I want to find a chance to compete with Naruto." Naruto can naturally sense Hong's sight and gaze. Seemingly knowing what he was thinking, Naruto smiled lightly and ignored it directly. Hearing Hong's words, Naruto couldn't help sighing in his heart, thinking with emotion. After all, Hong is still a girl. She is too kind. Her thoughts are so simple and innocent. She has the love and affection of a girl. Although Hong is a jonin who has seen a lot, her mind may not be as mature and considerate as Naruto. Naruto and the world she sees are different after all. In this cruel environment, Naruto couldn't put himself in other people's shoes like she did. However, after thinking about it, Naruto accepted Hong's kindness. Although Sasuke has Naruto's help, Naruto doesn't need others to teach him anything, and has his own way of cultivation. But in addition to them, there is little Sakura in the team. Little Sakura still needs Kurenai's guidance. Therefore, Naruto nodded and said, "Then thank you, Teacher Yurihong." Red smiled faintly and nodded. After a brief conversation, everyone walked into the Hokage building together and went to the Hokage office. Inside Hokage's office, Third Hokage seems to have been waiting for them. After seeing Naruto and the others walk in, Third Hokage raised his head and smiled kindly at everyone. "You guys come to pick up the mission again?" Yurihong and the others nodded. Third Hokage didn't delay either, and threw out a blank sheet of paper, which was full of mission entrustments, allowing them to choose by themselves. However, only the task name and level are written on this white paper, and there is no content. If you want to know the content, you have to ask or accept it, and some special high-level missions can only be known after accepting them. This is also to ensure the secrecy of the mission. Soon, Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma selected suitable D-rank tasks for their genin, and Naruto and the others quickly finished their selection. Originally, Yurihong wanted to help Naruto and the others choose one, but Naruto chose better than her, which made Yurihong feel a little helpless. After all, in her eyes, Naruto is just a matter of pointing, which is which, very casual. That's the truth. Anyway, they are all D-level tasks, not much difference. Even if the C-level task is selected, Naruto is sure to complete it. After all, not every C-level mission is as dangerous as the Kingdom of Waves. And if it is a more advanced one, no need for Yurihong to say, Third Hokage will not let the three genin perform it. After everyone received the task entrustment, they went to execute it individually. During the period, Yurihong also came over to take a look, as if she was worried that Naruto and the others would have a hard time accepting the task for the first time, as if they were not proficient in various things. However, when she came to check, she was shocked to find that the progress of Naruto's mission was not as difficult as she imagined. On the contrary, it was very fast. When she found Naruto, Naruto and the others had completed the D-level mission and were ready to rest. And the Genin team led by Yui Hong and Asuma is only halfway through. It's no wonder Naruto and the others are so efficient. Because of the same task they took together, Hong and Asuma took everyone to do it leisurely, thinking that while doing the D-level task, they would help them with their homework or guide their cultivation. But Naruto thought completely differently. Naruto has already designated a training plan. Complete a few more tasks in the morning and devote yourself to practicing in the afternoon. In this way, the completion progress of the task will not fall behind, and the practice in the afternoon will also make people experience more deeply, integrate into it faster, and improve their strength. Facts have proved that Naruto's plan is indeed very practical. After a few days, Naruto and his team not only completed the task faster than Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma's team, but also spent more time practicing than them. It's just that such a plan makes them a little more tired than other genin. After all, they don't have leisure time to rest. Little Sakura and Sasuke didn't complain about this hard training plan. Needless to say, Sasuke, he originally wanted to improve himself quickly, eager to become stronger. With so much practice time and Naruto's guidance, how could he not cherish and work hard? And little Sakura saw Naruto and Sasuke practicing like this day after day, and she didn't want to be left behind by the two, so she gritted her teeth and persisted. It has to be said that this kind of cultivation is worthwhile, and their improvement is also very fast, obviously. After a few days, both Sasuke and little Sakura felt stronger than ever. The daily practice, which was heavy for them, now feels extremely relaxed. After Naruto saw this, he also increased their training progress and training time. In fact, it is also very simple to teach Sasuke to practice. Sasuke himself is very talented, and under the stimulation of the Wave Country and his party, he has already opened Sharingan. All he lacks is a practice plan and goal, as well as some advanced practice methods, such as Chakra Nature Transformation. Naruto simply handed over Chakra's Nature Transformation to him, and taught him how to use his own chakra attributes to strengthen himself and improve his physical ability. For example, the Thunder Attribute Chakra, attached to the body, can explode at an astonishing speed in a short period of time. Sasuke is also very useful. Knowing that these are dry goods, I am very grateful to Naruto. Of course, if Sasuke knew that he, a Uchiha genius, had just started Sharingan not long ago, while Naruto, an outsider, had already awakened Mangekyo, he might be even more shocked to vomit blood and practice more desperately. During the practice period, Hong also came to find Naruto and the others with Genin under her guidance. It is said that they want to compete and exchange experiences with each other. In fact, I also want to see the gap between the Genin she coached and Naruto, and by the way, stimulate them to strengthen their training. And the results of the exchanges are self-evident. Chapter 41. Teeth confronted Naruto, and before he had time to use his favorite method, Orc Transformation, Gerudo Teeth, he was instantly killed by Naruto. The process is very simple, relying entirely on pure speed. At the beginning of the sparring, he got close to Ya and defeated him. Ya was also completely shocked. He couldn't believe that this was Genin's speed, and he couldn't believe that he would be instantly killed by Naruto. The gap between the two was so huge. Let him feel a huge setback. Sasuke faced Aburame Shino. Although the process was a little troublesome, it ended with Sasuke winning in the end. Although Shino still has a big move to use, Sasuke doesn't give him a chance to use it at all. With the help of the Chakra Nature Transformation taught by Naruto and the application of the Thunder Attribute Chakra, find the right opportunity to get close and defeat Shino, who was caught off guard. After the battle, Naruto also took a look at Shino and couldn't help but narrow his eyes. He could feel that Ji now looked ordinary, but perhaps he is also the one who is seriously underestimated. Jinai must still have some means that he has not used, and he has not done his best. However, this is enough to show that Sasuke's progress during this period is huge. After all, Sasuke didn't cast Sharingan either. He has initially mastered Chakra Nature Transformation, and his strength has improved rapidly, have gone far beyond the teeth of them. This also made Sasuke very satisfied, and even more convinced that it was a very correct decision for him to find Naruto to guide his practice. In the last group, that is, the duel between Hinata and small Sakura, is even more exciting, because Naruto discovered that the Genin in Kuroyuki's group performed best was actually Hinata. Hinata didn't know who was infected, and she practiced extremely hard, and her strength improved very quickly. In this duel, Hinata cleverly used White Eyes, cleverly dodged the little Sakura's attack, and accurately attacked the little Sakura's acupuncture points. However, this does not mean that little Sakura has no power to fight back. In this short period of training, little Sakura has also improved a lot. At least, the performance is better than teeth. However, the result of the battle was finally announced as Hinata's victory. Hinata performed really well. Under her application, Baiyin made her dance like a dancer, dancing gracefully, attacking superbly everywhere, and finally defeated little Sakura. After the fight, the result was 2 wins and 1 loss. Kurenai Yuhi was taken aback and stared deeply at Naruto with admiration, because she knew that after these few days of observation, she clearly found that the cultivation of Sasuke and little Sakura was all guided by Naruto. Sasuke, in particular, did almost exactly what Naruto planned. And because of this, Uehong was shocked. Because Sasuke's promotion is really too fast. Some time ago, Sasuke did not have this kind of strength, but in such a short period of time, Sasuke has initially mastered chakra nature transformation, and it can be applied to her body, which is incredible to her. This is not the strength that Genin should have at all. And all these masterpieces are made by Naruto. Kurenai Yuhi deeply knows that Sasuke's strengthening has an inseparable relationship with Naruto. Just look at Sasuke's respectful eyes looking at Naruto. The same is true for little Sakura. During this period of time, little Sakura, who was originally only excellent in theoretical knowledge, has also rapidly improved her combat effectiveness. Its strength is already at the level of elite Genin. Progress is nothing short of insignificant. In fact, there are not many places where Naruto guides little Sakura, just a team of 3, and they all follow the same training plan. The little Sakura may be the reason why she was not to be outdone when she saw Naruto and Sasuke working so hard and never gave up on cultivation. Seeing the performance of the 3 of them, Uehong was completely shocked. Even if Kakashi taught it himself, it is impossible to teach it so well. The entire team, the 3 of them, all improved significantly. Sasuke is even more flying. It's horrible. And the person who taught them was actually just a genin, Uzumaki Naruto. Uehong took a deep look at Naruto in disbelief, and soon she realized that she shook her head and called Shangya and Hinata to leave. It seemed that Hong was also preparing to strengthen their training. As the days passed, Sasuke and the others also put themselves into the training plan formulated by Naruto again. A month later, when everyone was training day by day, Naruto suddenly found out. Konoha suddenly became lively. Konoha, which was originally peaceful and quiet, suddenly had many strange faces of ninjas from foreign villages. Some of them are cloud shinobi, some are sand shinobi, some are mist shinobi, some are rock shinobi, and so on and so on. Ninjas from many different villages gathered in Konoha. Looking at these strange faces with different ninja forehead protectors, Naruto and the others were also taken aback. Soon, they realized it too. The Chunin exam that Asuma mentioned earlier is coming. Chapter 42. Sand Shinobi, Gaara. Naruto narrowed his eyes, clenched his fists, looked at the Konoha that was about to be turbulent, and thought to himself, this moment is finally here. Some of the ninjas from the outer villages who entered Konoha brought with them the forehead protectors of the 5 major ninja villages, and some brought with them other villages, such as Otonin and Kusanagi. Seeing so many strange ninjas suddenly appearing in Konoha, little Sakura was taken aback and asked, slightly puzzled, why are there so many foreign ninjas in the village? Doesn't it mean that without Mr. Hokage's permission, foreign ninjas can't enter Konoha at will? Hearing little Sakura's words, Naruto smiled lightly and said, they are licensed. Because the Chunin exam is about to begin. Naruto's words made Sasuke and little Sakura startled, and they looked at Naruto with wide eyes. Soon, they all thought of what Asuma had told them some time ago. The Chunin exam is about to be held. Thousands of ninjas gather together. This is the stage to prove them and the best place to hone them. Sasuke clenched his fists, took a deep breath, couldn't hide the impatience in his heart, and quickly laughed. Is it finally going to start? I can't wait. Naruto smiled lightly and said nothing. Soon, their practice plan for today was also completed. Naruto took everyone with him, ready to rest and have a meal. As soon as they walked to the Konoha Avenue, Naruto and the others saw an eye-catching scene. All I saw was a child jovially making noise and running, and suddenly bumped into a Sand Shinobi ninja. The child cried out in pain. Sand Shinobi, who was dressed in black with facial makeup painted on his face, turned around and glared at the child, dissatisfied and fierce. Hey kid, don't you have eyes when you walk? The child rubbed his forehead in pain, looked at the Sand Shinobi ninja in front of him with some fear, and said timidly, I didn't mean it, you blocked my way. And this is Konoha. What are you doing? The Sand Shinobi ninja frowned when he heard the child's words. It seemed that the child's words made him very unhappy, and he shouted angrily, "Little ghost, didn't your parents tell you to respect your elders? It seems that it is impossible not to teach you a lesson. I will teach you a lesson for your grandparents." After speaking, the Sand Shinobi ninja grabbed the child by the collar and pulled him up. The huge strength made the child unable to resist, so he had to struggle and shake desperately. Seeing this scene, Naruto and Sasuke looked over. The familiar faces and scenes made Naruto recognize the two quickly. That Sand Shinobi ninja is none other than Kankuro, and the child held by Kankuro is 3rd Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru. That's all right now. The Kazekage offspring of Sand Shinobi are going to teach Konoha's Hokage offspring a lesson. Sasuke on the side saw the Sand Shinobi ninja trekking arrogantly in Konoha's territory and immediately wanted to make a move. Of course, what Sasuke thought more about was to find an opponent to fight and test his cultivation results these days. And Kankuro and Sasuke are about the same age, and they look very fierce and arrogant, so Sasuke can't help but want to make a move. Just before Sasuke was about to make a move, a loud shout sounded from the top of the big tree beside Kankuro and the others. "Let him go!" The voice suddenly sounded, making Kankuro startled. Kankuro looked up and soon saw the owner of the voice in the tree. It was a boy with thick eyebrows wearing a green sportswear. The boy with thick eyebrows had his hands on his hips, stared at him righteously, and told him to stop. This guy with thick eyebrows is exactly Rock Lee. Rock Lee is not the only one standing on the tree, but also his teammate, the genius of the Hyuga family, Hyuga, and ninja hobby collectors, every day. All three were very dissatisfied with Kankuro's behavior, and even glared at Kankuro every day. When Kankuro saw the three of them, even though he was glared at by Xiao Li and the others, Kankuro was not afraid at all, and instead smiled provocatively. Why? The Konoha shinobi still want to punish the evil and promote the good, heroic savior. Hearing Kankuro's words, Li frowned his thick eyebrows and shouted again, "Let go of him. If you don't let him go, I'm going to attack." Xiao Li's words made Kankuro even more arrogant. As if he wanted to force Xiao Li to make a move, he grabbed Konohamaru's hand even tighter. Konohamaru coughed in pain and struggled. Seeing this, Xiao Li finally stopped waiting. As soon as the footsteps were stepped, the body rose into the air and flew out in an instant. Adjusting the angle of the body in the air, he just kicked Kankuro. Seeing Xiao Li's shot, Kankuro was about to fight back. Suddenly, a burst of fine sand appeared in front of Kankuro. Seeing this stream of fine sand, Kankuro's pupil shrank, and he stopped moving. After the fine sand appeared, it gushed out gradually, and more gushed out. Soon, a large amount of fine sand condensed into a fist in the air and bombarded Xiao Li. Xiao Li's windy legs and the fist made of fine sand collided with each other. Bang! Two huge forces collide, cancel each other out. Soon, Xiao Li's figure flew out and staggered back to the original place. He was shocked to find that the power of the fine sand was comparable to his kick, even stronger than his ordinary kick. Seeing this scene, Xiao Li's teammates, Hyuga and Tian were also taken aback for a moment, their eyes suddenly serious. Because they know how powerful Xiao Li's physical attack is. It is definitely not a good thing for the opponent to block Xiao Li's attack. Soon, the fine sand didn't intend to continue to fight, perhaps because it was Konoha's territory here, and the Chunin exam hadn't started yet, so he didn't want to make a move too early. After Shisha repelled Xiao Li, soon, the master controlling Shisha also appeared in front of everyone. It was a boy with red hair, dark circles under his eyes, and a blood-red love carved on his forehead. Seeing the boy, Naruto also narrowed his eyes. This young man is none other than Sand Shinobi's one-tail Shuha Jinchuriki, the son of the Wind Shadow, Gaara. Chapter 43, Konohamaru trekking arrogantly. After Gaara appeared, a blonde girl with a big black fan on her back slowly appeared in everyone's sight. That girl is Gaara and Kankuro's teammate, Gaara's older sister, Temari. Seeing the appearance of Gaara's group, Hyuga and Tian immediately jumped down from the tree, came to Xiao Li's side, and looked at Gaara warily. Xiao Li also looked at Gaara in a little surprise. He didn't expect Gaara to easily block his attack, but soon, Xiao Li's eyes showed a fighting spirit, and he wanted to rush up again and fight Gaara. Just when Xiao Li was about to make a move, Niji suddenly stretched out his hand and stopped Xiao Li. "Wait a minute, Li." Xiao Li looked at Niji suspiciously. "I just saw that Hyuga had opened his white eyes at some point, and under the strengthening of chakra, veins had burst out around the white eyes, and he was watching Gaara and staring at Gaara. However, this observation doesn't matter. When Neji saw the huge chakra on Gaara's body, he was stunned for a moment, and gradually his eyes widened in shock. Under Neji's observation, I found that Gaara's chakra is unusually huge. It is simply not comparable to ordinary people. Not only that, this chakra is not only huge, but also full of bloodthirsty and violent aura, like suppressing the desire to kill, lurking on Gaara's body, making Neji very uncomfortable after feeling it. After realizing that Gaara was not easy, Neji took a breath, looked at Gaara solemnly, and said, "This person is not simple. Shaoli, don't act rashly." Shaoli was stunned for a moment, and seeing Neji's serious expression, he immediately realized that Gaara in front of him was not an ordinary person. Neji is a genius of the Hyuga family. His strength and intelligence are far superior to those of his peers. It is rare for him to be so cautious. Making Neji so cautious is enough to show that Gaara is not easy. However, this also made Xiao Li's fighting spirit sprout, and he even wanted to fight Gaara to prove his strength. Seeing that Xiao Li and his teammates Neji and Tian didn't intend to make any more moves, Gaara snorted coldly and took back the sand. Then, I heard Gaara say lightly, "Kankuro, this is Konoha. Don't act recklessly." After hearing Gaara's words, Kankuro cringed and feared like a mouse seeing a cat. Nodding quickly, he put down the struggling Konohamaru, stood behind Gaara, and said quietly, "Yes." Gaara glanced at the terrified Konohamaru, snorted coldly, and said lightly, "It's just an ant, and it's worth your shot." Kankuro broke out in a cold sweat and dared not make a sound. Konohamaru, struggling from Kankuro's hands, glanced at Gaara and Kankuro with some fear, and ran to Konoha Shinobi's side. "Let's go." Seeing that Xiao Li and Neji are not going to make a move, and the matter here has been settled, Gaara is not interested in staying here, so she is ready to turn around and leave after speaking. However, just as Gaara was about to leave, a dissatisfied scolding attracted everyone's attention. I only saw that after Konohamaru escaped from Kankuro, he didn't see Neji and the others, but ran to Naruto and the others beside him. Then, I saw Konohamaru glaring at Naruto with dissatisfaction and shouted angrily, "Why didn't you save me? Aren't you a Konoha shinobi? You coward, coward. You don't deserve to be a Konoha shinobi." Konohamaru looked at Naruto angrily. Obviously, in his eyes, Naruto and the others were also here. They saw this scene, but did not make a move. They chose to stand by and watch, which made him very dissatisfied. After all, in the eyes of a person who is not even a genin, he could not find that Neji and Xiao Li on the tree had arrived long ago, but saw Naruto on the side. They saw him being caught, but did not save him. Konohamaru glared at Naruto angrily and yelled. Hearing that Konohamaru ran up to him and scolded him angrily, Naruto froze for a moment, somewhat surprised to see Konohamaru, a child who pushes forward. After hearing Konoha's words, Naruto was not in a hurry to get angry. Instead, he looked at Konohamaru indifferently and said lightly, "Why should I save you?" What Naruto said made Konohamaru stunned for a moment. Immediately, Konohamaru looked at Naruto even more angrily and shouted, "Why didn't you save me? I'm third Hokage, the grandson of Sarutobi Hiruzen. It's your honor to save me. This is Konoha. When you see people from other villages bullying Konoha, shouldn't you take action?" Hearing Konoha's words, Naruto couldn't help but sneered, looked at Konohamaru indifferently, and asked bluntly, "Really? Just because you're third Hokage's grandson, I'm supposed to save you? But in my eyes, all of this is your own fault. You bumped into them, but you didn't apologize. Instead, you wanted to use Konoha's words here to suppress the other party and cover up your mistakes. This is the grandson of third Hokage. Style? It's really amazing." The conversation between the two attracted everyone's attention, causing Gaara and the others to stop and pay attention to this scene. Especially Temari, the long-legged lady next to Gaara, looked at Naruto with great interest after hearing Naruto's words, and was deeply curious about Naruto. In fact, what Naruto said is not unreasonable. It was Konohamaru who accidentally bumped into someone first, so it's fine if he doesn't apologize, and he tried to use the name of Konoha here to scare the foreign ninjas. His rude and polite attitude is really arrogant. But unfortunately, what Konohamaru bumped into was not a soft guy who could be frightened by Konoha's name, but bumped into a few ruthless sons of Sand Shinobi 4th Kazekage's heirs. The other party wants to teach Konohamaru a lesson and let Konohamaru know what is polite. If Kankuro really wanted to hurt Konoha, he wouldn't have waited for Neji and the others to show up. Besides, As Konohamaru said, here is Konoha. Kankuro would not be so foolish as to stir up conflicts between Sand Shinobi and Konoha before the Chunin exam, causing unnecessary trouble and disrupting their plans. It was originally an insignificant trifle, and it passed away as a look at the excitement. Originally, Naruto didn't want to care about this kind of thing. He didn't like Konoha at first, and seeing that Konohamaru was just a child, he didn't want to say anything. However, since Konohamaru took the initiative to trouble him, Naruto will tell him mercilessly what the real facts and truths are. Chapter 44. The real facts. Just because Shaoli saved Konohamaru does not mean that Konoha did the right thing. After hearing Naruto's words, Konohamaru seemed to feel that he was a bit wronged, and said in a panic with averted eyes, "Then, so what? He is blocking my way. Besides, I am the grandson of 3rd Hokage, yet you scolded me. But a mere genin. What right do you have to scold me?" Saying that, Konohamaru stared at Naruto confidently and shouted. Hearing Konohamaru's yelling words, Neji and Shaoli frowned, as if they were not interested in Konohamaru's reaction and words. Konohamaru moved out 3rd Hokage to force Naruto, trying to make Naruto bow his head. Naruto, however, is undeterred by it. After hearing Konohamaru's words, Naruto smiled indifferently. His blue eyes flashed a touch of coldness, and said lightly, "Genin is not qualified? You are just a weak person who borrows the aura of others, but has no strength yourself. You can only wait for others to rescue you. In this world, strength is the most important thing. I can say whatever I want. Sasuke, see off." After finishing speaking, Naruto didn't want to talk to Konohamaru anymore, and he didn't even want to waste time by talking to him. Seeing this, Konohamaru stomped angrily. Sasuke on the side nodded when he heard it, and looked at Konohamaru coldly, wanting to teach him a lesson and drive him away. Seeing Sasuke and Naruto's indifferent appearance, the little Sakura wanted to be a good person, so she smiled embarrassingly and persuaded, "Naruto, Sasuke, why are you so angry? He's just a child and he's innocent. I'm going to talk to him." However, as soon as little Sakura finished speaking, Naruto cast her an indifferent glance and said mercilessly, "The malice he imposed on me will not be weakened much because of his age. Little Sakura, what you want to do is your freedom. Please do." After finishing speaking, Naruto stopped talking to little Sakura. The little Sakura was stunned for a moment, a little surprised and a little guilty, as if she was beginning to regret intervening in this matter. Sasuke didn't stop because of the little Sakura's words. Instead, he snorted coldly. Just as he was about to step forward, suddenly, a green figure flashed past. I saw that Shaoli suddenly appeared in front of Konohamaru, stopped Sasuke, and shouted righteously, "His speech is indeed inappropriate. However, the teacher told me that the strong should always help the weak. Stand on the side of the weak. Let me replace him as your opponent." Seeing Shaoli standing in front of him and listening to Shaoli's words, Sasuke frowned. But Sasuke didn't intend to stop because of this. Instead, he took a few steps forward. Neji and Tion at the side saw their companion Shaoli make a move and shook their heads helplessly seeing this scene. Neji stepped forward and said, "Shaoli, that's not what Mr. Guy meant. Helping the weak depends on the situation. Let's not interfere in this matter." Shaoli looked at Neji with some doubts, as if he couldn't quite hear what Neji was saying. Just when Sasuke and Shaoli were about to fight, a suave and smiling voice suddenly sounded, "Hi, what are you guys doing?" The voice sounded, and a figure suddenly appeared on the tree, waving his hands, squinting and smiling at Naruto, Sasuke, and the others. That figure, with silver hair and his left eye covered by a forehead protector, was Kakashi, who went out on a mission some time ago. The Chunin exam is about to begin, and Kakashi is back at this juncture. Seeing Kakashi appear, little Sakura couldn't help shouting in surprise, "Ms. Kakashi, you are back?" Kakashi smiled and nodded to little Sakura, saying, "Little Sakura, Sasuke, Naruto, long time no see." Naruto nodded lightly. It was indeed a long time no see. Kakashi has been out on a mission for more than a month. Kakashi glanced around and quickly understood what was going on here. Then, Kakashi squinted his eyes and said to Konohamaru, "Konohamaru, I've seen what happened here. It's true that you are being rude. Also, Naruto's ninja qualifications are determined by me. It's not like you can cancel it just by canceling it. Even if 3rd Hokage knows about it, he won't let you mess around here." Hearing Kakashi's words, Konohamaru shuddered. Apparently he knew Kakashi. Also, he seems a little scared of Kakashi. It's no wonder that he, a grandson of 3rd Hokage, can walk arrogantly in front of ordinary ninjas and genin, but in front of Jonin, he is still in awe. After all, Jonin is the pillar of the village. If Jonin is offended, his grandfather third Hokage will not let him act wildly and will reprimand him. Especially when he heard Kakashi's warning, Konohamaru nodded hastily. He knew how terrible it was for Kakashi to get angry. Moreover, just now, he seemed to have really upset Kakashi's displeasure. After all, Naruto and the others became ninjas, but Kakashi personally recognized and praised them. Ninja is more of a person's identity, which is a big deal. It's not that he, a grandson of third Hokage, can take it for fun. After being warned by Kakashi, Konohamaru nodded hastily. And seeing that Sasuke and Naruto were going to teach him a lesson, Kakashi didn't stop persuading him. Konohamaru was a little scared and ran away in a panic. Seeing Konohamaru leave, Kakashi turned his gaze back to Naruto and the others, saw all three were there, squinted his eyes and smiled again. Since the three of you are here, don't play here, come with me, I have something to tell you. After speaking, Kakashi jumped down, ready to take Naruto and the others away. Seeing Kakashi, Sasuke snorted, and seemed a little dissatisfied that he didn't let him teach Konohamaru a lesson. Naruto didn't care. He didn't bother with the child. Besides, after a while, his plan will really start. When Kakashi saw it, he smiled and said, "Okay, I've already taught him for you. I believe third Hokage will teach him when he knows." Snort. I didn't expect Mr. Kakashi to be so protective. I'm really envious. Little Sakura also said with a smile. Kakashi smiled, glanced at Naruto, and said, "After all, you are my precious disciples. And you are also the first batch of little guys I recognize and look forward to. I can't let you be unfairly wronged," Kakashi said with a smile. Naruto was also relieved to see that Kakashi stood by Konohamaru regardless of his status as the grandson of third Hokage. Chapter 45. Okay, I have something to tell you, let's change the place. After talking about it, Kakashi glanced at the crowd around him and said. Naruto and the others nodded. Just when everyone was about to leave, suddenly a passionate shout interrupted them and called Naruto. Wait a moment. Naruto and the others were taken aback. All I saw was that Shaoli ran to Naruto and the others in a hurry and stopped Naruto and the others with his hand. Then, Shaoli's eyes were full of fighting spirit. He stared at Naruto with fiery eyes and said passionately, "Are you Uzumaki Naruto-kun?" Naruto was taken aback. Sasuke and Shao Sakura also looked at Shaoli strangely. Then, Naruto nodded. Seeing Naruto nodding, Shaoli was even more excited and quickly said, "I heard Mr. Guy talk about you. He said you are a very good ninja, stronger than Uchiha's genius." When Sasuke on the side heard Shaoli's words, a black line appeared on his forehead. Although he also admitted this fact, Shaoli still made him feel a little uncomfortable when he said it in front of him. However, the nervous Shaoli didn't seem to notice this, and after finishing speaking, he continued, "Please fight me. Be sure to fight me." As soon as Shaoli finished speaking, he immediately attracted everyone's attention. Niji, Tion, Gaara, and Temari all looked over. After hearing Shaoli's words, Naruto also froze for a moment, slightly astonished. He was thinking just now that Shaoli would actually know his name. Moreover, he stopped suddenly, probably because he wanted to fight with himself. Unexpectedly, as expected by Naruto, Shaoli really wanted to be like this. Seeing Shaoli's hot and excited appearance, eager to fight Naruto, Niji and Sasuke immediately became interested. Kakashi couldn't help looking at Shaoli with great interest. As if remembering something, he said with a smile, "Is it Guy's favorite student?" Shaoli didn't seem to hear Kakashi's words, and only had Naruto in his eyes. Naruto exhaled, feeling troubled. He glanced at Kakashi helplessly. Obviously, the reason Shaoli knew about himself must be because Kakashi told Guy, and Guy told Shaoli. Sensing Naruto's gaze, Kakashi innocently shrugged. Then, I heard Kakashi said with great interest, "Naruto, promise him, play a game, just let me see your progress during this time. Besides, I and his teacher Guy are rivals for life, and you are our two disciples of each other. Your fight is also related to our victory or defeat. Go and let him see your strength," Kakashi said to Naruto with a smile. Hearing what Kakashi said, Naruto exhaled and nodded and said, "Okay, let's have a fight. Thanks." When Shaoli saw that Naruto agreed, he immediately exclaimed and thanked Naruto and Kakashi. After the two politely exchanged hands, they separated and each occupied one side. The others also hurriedly gave way to the two of them and gathered around to watch the battle carefully. It can be seen that they are all very interested in this battle, especially Gaara's side. Just now Temari and Kankuro saw that Shaoli was not injured when he touched Gaara's sand. That collision, although Xiao Li and Niji were very surprised. But equally surprised, there are Kankuro and Temari. As Gaara's older brothers, they are very aware of Gaara's horror, and even more of Gaara's coldness and cruelty. Every time Gaara made a shot, he didn't mean to show mercy. Although the sand attack seemed to resist Xiao Li's attack, it also meant to crush Xiao Li's thigh. However, after Xiao Li blocked the sand, he was not injured. This is enough to see that Xiao Li's strength is also very good. You know, that kind of terrible sand is not something that ordinary genin can block. Therefore, they also wanted to see what would happen in the fight between Xiao Li and Naruto. I also want to see what kind of strength Naruto, who is so valued by Xiao Li, is. Not to mention Niji and Tiantian. During the daily training, Guy told them every day that Kakashi has such an outstanding student, so that they could speed up their practice and surpass Kakashi's students. These words made their ears tingle. Now they can finally see the protagonist of the conversation, so they are also full of interest. When the two confronted each other, little Sakura also asked with a puzzled face, "Ms. Kakashi, who is the Mr. Guy he is talking about? Is it their Guy Jonin?" Kakashi nodded and said, "Well, yes. A very powerful guy, and Konoha's blue beast." When the little Sakura heard it, she was slightly taken aback and asked, "Then the students he teaches are also very good?" Kakashi smiled and said, "Of course, and Xiao Li is Guy's most proud disciple." Hearing Kakashi's words, little Sakura was slightly worried. But Sasuke didn't do that. Instead, he looked at Naruto and Xiao Li more seriously, wanting to see how strong Naruto is. Just when everyone was discussing the outcome of this sparring, the battle between Naruto and Xiao Li is about to begin. Chapter 46, A Punch, Part 1. After the two nodded to each other, Xiao Li took the lead in attacking. All I saw was that Xiao Li made a fighting posture of a martial arts master, and then he took a step forward and rushed towards Naruto. Xiao Li's speed is very fast, far exceeding Genin's strength. Soon, Xiao Li rushed in front of Naruto, aimed at Naruto's upper body, raised his leg, and swept his leg towards Naruto. Leaf Hurricane! Xiao Li shouted loudly. His attack is also like the name of his move, a whirlwind blows, as fast as an afterimage and powerful. Seeing Xiao Li's attack so fast and agile, both Sasuke and Xiao Sakura were a little surprised, and at the same time observed the battle more seriously. Obviously, they can all see that Xiao Li's strength is not simple. Just when Xiao Li's sweeping leg was about to kick Naruto's face, suddenly, Naruto moved. All I saw was that Naruto raised his hand, and Xiao Li's leg sweep followed. The two collide together. Bang! The collision of powerful forces makes a sound like a metal collision. Then, everyone saw in astonishment that Naruto easily blocked Xiao Li's powerful blow with his palm. Xiao Li was also slightly startled. Apparently, he did not expect that Naruto would block his attack so easily. However, there is more to it. All I saw was that after Naruto blocked Xiao Li's sweeping legs, he grabbed Xiao Li with his hand to prevent Xiao Li from pulling away. Then, the other fist was clenched, and it punched Xiao Li. Seeing Naruto's punch, Xiao Li immediately opened his eyes wide, trying to avoid it. But unfortunately, no matter how hard he struggles, he can't get rid of Naruto's power. Immediately afterwards, he saw that Naruto's fist was getting bigger and bigger in his perspective, and the fist was getting closer. The speed of this fist is too fast. It was so fast that Xiao Li even gave him a horrified look. Moreover, there is no way to dodge. Xiao Li could only quickly raise his hand, trying to block it. I thought to myself, it's just a punch, and I can't suffer much. However, the next scene, even more incredible things happened. Everyone saw in astonishment that after Naruto's fist hit Xiao Li's blocking hands, they thought that Naruto's attack would be easily handled by Xiao Li just like Naruto just now. After all, they thought in their hearts that the strength of the two might be evenly matched. Unexpectedly, in the next scene, a scene that shocked them happened. I only saw that after Naruto's fist hit Xiao Li, the power on his fist exploded. Xiao Li didn't even realize what was going on, but felt a sudden force coming. The strength of this force made him feel that he was irresistible, and also made him realize that Naruto's punch was not as simple as he saw. Then, I heard a bang. A whirlwind-like cyclone burst out around the entire fist. Immediately afterwards, the next moment, Xiao Li suddenly couldn't stand the power of Naruto's punch, and his whole body was blown away by Naruto's punch. The powerful force sent Xiao Li flying, and Xiao Li flew tens of meters away and slammed into the big tree fiercely. Bang! The big tree screamed violently and almost broke. This is the result of Xiao Li having already dissipated part of his power, Otherwise, he would have flown farther. For a while, there was no sound, and the audience was silent. Everyone looked at this scene in astonishment. They thought that this battle would be very exciting, but they didn't expect that the excellent made them speechless. It was so exciting that they were shocked, and they didn't react for a long time. How is this going? Shouldn't it be a well-matched duel? Naruto actually Knockly, who was able to block Gaara's sand, flying with one punch. Is this punch so terrifying? Kankuro and Temari all stared at Naruto, dumbfounded and gasped. Gaara's eyes also narrowed when looking at Naruto. At this time, Neji and Tian also reacted immediately, ran to Xiao Li's side, and asked with concern, Xiao Li, how are you? Are you okay? Seeing the scene just now, Xiao Li was sent flying and hit a tree. Both of them asked worriedly. Soon, Xiao Li coughed a few times and got up from the ground in embarrassment. Looking at Naruto not far away with admiration and full of fighting spirit, he said, Ahem, I'm fine. As expected of Naruto-kun, the man who has won the praise of Mr. Guy's opponents all his life. I underestimated that punch so powerfully. If I had tried my best from the beginning, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Ahem. Xiao Li coughed and said in admiration. Hearing what Li said, Neji and Tian looked at Naruto even more shocked. Xiao Li doesn't often praise people. Moreover, as Xiao Li's teammates, they knew Xiao Li's character, and they also knew what Xiao Li said. Xiao Li is a person who respects his opponents very much. When he meets an opponent like Naruto, whom Guy often mentions, he will definitely fight with all his strength at the beginning. And when Xiao Li said that he didn't use all his strength, he meant that he didn't use his whole cards. But even if he didn't use his whole cards, Xiao Li's strength cannot be ignored. That's the one who can block Gaara's sand, far beyond Jinin's strength. Even so, he was blown away by Naruto's punch and lost. This is enough to explain the horror of Naruto's punch just now. However, what Xiao Li said was right. He really underestimated the enemy just now. It was completely unexpected that Naruto's punch would be so powerful. If he had cast 8 inner gates in the first place, taking all the weight off his body, he might still be entangled for a while. But this is a competition, not a desperate effort. The price of 8 inner gates is also great, and Naruto will also have 8 inner gates, and has other cards. After a short fight, the gap between the two has already been seen. One punch and it's over. Chapter 47. Your Name, Part 1. Everyone watched this scene dumbfounded. At this time, Sasuke and little Sakura also reacted. Little Sakura glanced at Xiao Li, who was fine, then turned her head and looked at Kakashi speechlessly and said, Mr. Kakashi, you are too unreliable. Is this the proud student of Mr. Guy you said? It looks quite special. You wouldn't tell his teacher that Naruto is weak, would you? The little Sakura gave Kakashi a blank look, and Sasuke was also a little speechless. The battle ended too quickly, and the winner was decided with one punch. I don't know whether to say Xiao Li is weak or Naruto is strong. But people with a discerning eye can definitely see that it is definitely not Xiao Li weak. But judging from Xiao Li's previous performance, Temari and the others knew that he was able to block Gaara's attack just now. Yes, Naruto's strength is too strong. The seemingly simple punch contained a terrifying power, so that they couldn't detect it, let alone see it. Thinking of this, Kankuro and the others couldn't help but shudder. After hearing little Sakura's words, Kakashi also scratched his head in embarrassment, not expecting this result. Kakashi smiled embarrassingly and said, Ahahaha, I didn't expect it to end so soon. It seems that I still underestimated Naruto, and I have to talk to Guy next time. Little Sakura and Sasuke glanced at Kakashi speechlessly. Naruto looked at Xiao Li. In fact, Xiao Li is already very powerful. Because that punch just now, even an ordinary Jonin might not be able to block it unscathed. In order to respect Xiao Li, a hard-working genius, Naruto also burst out part of his strength and entertained him well. It's just that I didn't expect that a confiscated force sent Xiao Li flying. But fortunately, Xiao Li was fine. The weight on his body and his strong physique from years of training allowed him to resist. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but look at Xiao Li in admiration. At this moment, Kakashi and the others also came to Naruto's side. After Kakashi came over, he first took a look at Xiao Li, and after knowing that Xiao Li was fine, he turned his head and looked at Naruto speechlessly and said, You guy, it's a bit too hard. I asked you to perform well, but I didn't let you defeat the opponent so quickly. Now, let Guy know, and you have to ask me again and again how you practice. Naruto shrugged innocently and smiled lightly. As he said that, Kakashi narrowed his eyes and stared at Naruto. He felt more and more that he was almost unable to see through Naruto. Not seen for a while, Naruto's burst of strength made him feel extremely surprised. It seems that you have all made rapid progress during this time. While speaking, Kakashi also looked at Sasuke and little Sakura. Although Sasuke and little Sakura didn't make a move, Kakashi could also sense that their auras were much stronger than when he saw them last time. Of course, we have not been lazy during this time, little Sakura said proudly. Kakashi nodded in satisfaction, looked deeply at Naruto, not knowing what to think about. While the few people were talking, a hearty laugh suddenly came. Haha, I didn't expect Konoha to have such a master. And he is such a sensible guy. After the sound sounded, looking along the sound, Kakashi and the others soon saw Gaara and the others. Gaara and the others came to Naruto and looked at Naruto with admiration, and the one who said that sentence just now was Kankuro in Gaara's group. Kankuro looked at Naruto with admiration and awe, and laughed loudly. Our Sand Shinobi appreciates and welcomes talents like you. Why not come to our Sand Shinobi? Kakashi squinted his eyes when he heard Kankuro soliciting Naruto in front of him. However, Kakashi didn't say anything, because he knew the identity of the other party, and he also knew that the other party was just talking now, and it was impossible for him to dare to take Naruto away in front of his own face. Besides, Naruto has not agreed yet. On the other hand, little Sakura frowned in displeasure, and was just about to say something when Gaara at the side suddenly said, "Your name." All I saw was that Gaara stared at Naruto with dark circles, as if he wanted to see clearly why Naruto was so powerful. Hearing Gaara's words, Naruto couldn't help being taken aback and looked at Gaara in surprise. I couldn't help but wondered in my heart, is Gaara's memory so bad? Didn't Shaoli say his name just now? However, Naruto replied politely, Uzumaki Naruto. Gaara nodded, and secretly wrote down these 4 words in her heart. While Gaara was looking at Naruto, Naruto was also watching Gaara. As expected of the Jinchuriki of the tailed beast, the aura on Gaara's body is enormous. Moreover, this aura is not only huge, but also has a violent and bloodthirsty killing intent. It is impossible to see that a person with such a violent and bloodthirsty aura looks so calm on the surface. But Naruto knew that the violent breath was not Gaara's, but the tailed beast sealed on Gaara, the breath of one tail guarding the crane. After the two sides stared at each other for a while, Gaara heard a faint voice. Let's go, Kankuro, Temari. I hope to meet you in the next Chunin exam. Gaara said this lightly, then turned around and called Kankuro and Temari to leave. Kankuro on the side was not angry when he saw Naruto ignoring him. He nodded obediently and followed Gaara to leave. But Temari, before leaving, smiled faintly at Naruto, blinked her beautiful eyes, and said with a deep smile, Sand Shinobi welcomes you anytime. After speaking, the 3 turned and left. Chapter 48, Part 1. Just after Gaara and Temari left, Kakashi looked at their backs, squinted his eyes, turned his head to look at Naruto again, and said with a smile, I didn't expect that you, who are not popular in the village, are quite popular in the eyes of other villages. Naruto smiled incredulously. The people in the village didn't like him, that was true. After all, Kakashi is not ignorant of the fact that everyone fears him and abuses him as a fox. As for the likes of people in other villages, unable to be sure, Naruto shook his head. Looking at Temari's slender back, Naruto thought in his heart, this woman is not simple. Temari's words just now were not intended to win over. If they really wanted to win over Naruto, Temari and the others would not have said these things in front of Kakashi, nor in front of a group of ninjas. And the reason why he said so in person was nothing more than a beauty trick, for 2 reasons. One is to arouse the suspicion of others, make others doubt whether Naruto will do this, and embarrass Naruto. After all, Naruto offended the grandson of 3rd Hokage just now, and now he is being recruited by the ninjas of Sand Shinobi, which inevitably makes people think too much. The second is to tentatively win over Naruto. I want to take advantage of Naruto's suspicion and exclusion. When Konoha can't survive, there will be Sand Shinobi as a place to go. At that time, Sand Shinobi accepts Naruto, that is, Sand Shinobi takes the initiative. Instead of wooing Naruto, who is not yet discouraged by Konoha, and it is easier for them to get Naruto's body and mind. I have to say, Temari and the others have a good plan. Kuan Yu technique played very well. Unfortunately, Temari and the others miscalculated a bit. That is, Naruto has long been disappointed with Konoha. Moreover, Naruto is not interested in these. What he dares to be interested in now is his own plan. Obviously, Sand Shinobi will not do this for him because of what he has shown now, and these need to be done step by himself. However, it also let Naruto know. As expected, Temari is the daughter of 4th Kazekage and the princess of Sand Shinobi Village. She is by no means as simple as it seems. Kakashi should also know Temari's intention, and Naruto didn't bother to explain anything. After Sand Shinobi's people left, Lee and Niji also came to say goodbye to Naruto and the others, and want to do other things. Shaoli was not discouraged by being defeated by Naruto, but looked at Naruto with more fighting spirit. He claimed to train himself well during the Chunin exam and make himself stronger, so that when he meets Naruto next time, he can fight more freely. I also said that when they fight next time, Shaoli will not have any reservations. Naruto just smiled and nodded. After Lee and the others left, Naruto and the others also left with Kakashi and changed places. As soon as we arrived at the location, little Sakura looked at Kakashi complainingly and said, "Mr. Kakashi, where have you been during this time? And why have you been away for so long?" Kakashi smiled and said, "Execute the mission, a very important mission." "Well, let's not talk about this. I have something to tell you." As he spoke, Kakashi's eyes gradually became serious, scanning the crowd, and said, "You have also seen many foreign ninjas coming to the village." Little Sakura and the others nodded. "It seems that you also know the reason." "That's right. The Chunin exam is about to start, and today is the deadline for registration." As soon as they heard Kakashi's words, Sasuke and little Sakura's eyes lit up. The two of them have been looking forward to this Chunin exam for a long time. "I am eager to prove my strength, hone myself, and test my hard work during this period of time in this Chunin exam." "Ms. Kakashi, how do I sign up?" Little Sakura asked impatiently. Kakashi saw the positive appearance of the three, smiled lightly, and said, "Don't worry, I've already registered for you. You just need to report to the examination room of the Chunin exam later." "Yeah." Little Sakura cheered happily. As soon as little Sakura's cheers fell, Kakashi said seriously again, "However, you have to remember, this Chunin exam is full of good and bad people. It is said to be an exam, but there are also many ninjas who die in the Chunin exam every year. There are dangers everywhere. You have to be careful." Hearing Kakashi tell them so seriously, little Sakura and Sasuke suddenly realized that the Chunin exam is not a child's play, and it is not as simple as they thought. Immediately, the two nodded heavily. Seeing that both Sasuke and little Sakura listened to his words, Kakashi turned to smile and said, "But don't worry too much. You are the best class of students I have ever seen. I believe you can achieve satisfactory results in this Chunin exam." Faced with Kakashi's praise, Sakura and Sasuke also smiled lightly. Of course, they have confidence in themselves, especially during this period of time with the cultivation Naruto brought them, which made their improvement even faster. And this Chunin exam is the best stage to hone them. Although they know that there are many crises inside, it is no joke. But they are also unafraid, because they just need such a stage, a place to break through their limits. Seeing the determined eyes of the three, Kakashi smiled gratifiedly, took out 3 blank papers, handed them to Naruto, and said, "This is your registration form for the Chunin exam. Take this registration form and report to the exam room." "Yes." After the three of them took the registration form, they nodded. After Kakashi told them the location of the examination room, he also left. After Kakashi left, Sasuke and little Sakura exhaled and looked forward to it. Naruto also looked towards the direction of the examination room in the distance. His eyes flickered and he narrowed slightly. Think about what's next. Then, I heard Naruto exhale and said, "Let's go." Sasuke and little Sakura nodded, and the three of them turned around immediately and went to the examination room. The Chunin exam kicked off. Chapter 49, Part 1. It seems that they have also heard about Naruto's performance in the ninja school. It's just that they don't know how Naruto behaved after becoming a ninja, and they don't know that Naruto is Kakashi's most proud student and the captain of this 3-person team. So, until now, they still think Naruto is a complete waste. Therefore, after seeing Naruto, the two also ridiculed mercilessly. Seeing this scene, Sasuke and little Sakura also frowned. Before they could speak to Naruto, the two Chunin taunted again. "It's just that a 3rd Hokage feels sorry for you, which makes you a waste of ninjas. It's ridiculous that you also want to take the Chunin exam." After hearing their words, Naruto took a deep breath. Unexpectedly, this little Chunin exam would give me special treatment. Immediately, a coldness appeared in Naruto's eyes. He looked at the two of them coldly and said lightly, "Kneel down." "What?" Hearing Naruto's words, the two Chunin seemed to feel that they had misheard. They were taken aback for a moment, stretched out their ears, and looked at Naruto sarcastically. Then, another cold voice came from Naruto's mouth. "I will make you kneel." After the sound sounded, a terrifying chakra burst out from Naruto's body. Immediately afterwards, Naruto casts two kaido, one of Bakudo, plug, one of Heido, rush. The two kaido are cast instantly. Just see, Naruto finger point. Bang! A huge shock hit the knees of the two chunins immediately. The two chunins yelled in pain. Their knees hurt, and they couldn't control their balance immediately and had no choice but to kneel down. He even knelt hard on the floor and made a lot of noise, which attracted everyone's attention. Everyone watched this scene in astonishment. Not only that, but Bakudo's power appeared, directly binding the hands of the two behind their backs, making them unable to move, and they could only look at Naruto in horror. Naruto looked at the two stunned chunin indifferently, snorted coldly, and without their consent, he knelt down at their knees, past him, and walked into the stairs on the second floor. And those two chunin looked at Naruto in horror as if they had seen a ghost. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. Not knowing what moves Naruto used against them, he made them kneel down, unable to resist. They only felt that a huge force bound them, making them unable to break free no matter how hard they struggled. The power of this force is so different from their own. Could it be that Naruto did it? The two chunin couldn't believe it, and watched Naruto leave step by step in amazement and horror, unable to make a sound to stop Naruto. With Naruto's current strength, it is impossible for the two chunin to break free even for the simplest number one Heido. Seeing this scene, the genins on the side all exclaimed and lost their voices in astonishment. How is this going? What happened? Why are those two arrogant chunins kneeling like trash now? Ha ha ha, it looks really funny. Could it be that blonde genin who did it? Everyone looked at Naruto in amazement and involuntarily gasped. And accompanying Naruto, Shaoli and the others who saw this scene were also extremely surprised. Shaoli stepped forward and said in admiration, "As expected of Mr. Naruto, I didn't even see clearly what Mr. Naruto did, but he was able to defeat two chunins. But why did those two chunins deliberately stop Mr. Naruto?" After Shaoli finished speaking in admiration, he said with some doubts. Obviously, Shaoli didn't know about Naruto, nor did he know about Naruto's childhood. In his eyes, that seems to be a more special assessment. As everyone knows, it's not an assessment, it's just a great malice. And Hyuga Neji on the side looked at Naruto's eyes, his eyes flickered. As if he had noticed something, this experience was a bit similar to his. So Neji quickly came to Shaoli's side, stopped and said, "Shaoli, stop asking. This is not what you should ask." Naruto smiled lightly, didn't mind, turned to Sasuke and little Sakura and said, "Let's go in." Sasuke gave Naruto a deep look and nodded. And little Sakura has complicated eyes. The two thought of how they were alone when they were in Naruto's school, and they seemed to see the different treatment of Naruto in the village. After the simple episode, no one asked much. Everyone quickly walked through the corridor and came to the hall on the second floor. They were also the genin who had passed the assessment below and were preparing to formally take the chunin exam. The hall on the second floor was already crowded with people, completely different from the scene below. The genins from various villages were discussing enthusiastically about the upcoming chunin exam, and some genins from different villages exchanged information with each other in an attempt to keep warm and prepare for the upcoming chunin exam together. And Naruto and the others found a relatively quiet place to stand down, waiting for the chunin exam to start. Not long after Naruto and the others arrived at the lobby, Ino and Hinata, who had already come here, greeted Naruto immediately after seeing Naruto in the lobby. "Naruto, little Sakura." Ino and the others came to Naruto and the others through the crowd, and then Ino said again, "Why did you come here? The first exam is about to start." Little Sakura and the others smiled embarrassingly. She couldn't say that it was Kakashi who told them on the last day that the chunin exam had begun. Moreover, not long ago, the registration form was handed over to them. But before little Sakura answered, Ino said enthusiastically again, "I heard that the first test is a written test, and there is a very strict examiner. The second test is the actual combat. When the time comes, Naruto, you guys need to help us a lot. Many people here are already united, and we Konoha genins should also unite. Besides, Shikamaru is lazy." Ino leaned over to Naruto, took Naruto's hand, and said with a smile. Seeing this, little Sakura snorted repellently and said, "How come, Ino? Your team's strength is not weak. And the chunin exam, you have to rely on your own strength to pass." Hearing little Sakura's words, Ino gave little Sakura a dissatisfied look and said, "TCH little Sakura, you are very comfortable. You have Naruto and Sasuke in your group, two of the best talents of our class, and Naruto's strength is far superior to our few genins. Just lie down and be fine, Gon. I envy you, hey, and my teammates, a foodie Choji, a lazy Shikamaru. Ino said enviously to little Sakura, then looked at Shikamaru who was doing nothing and Choji who was eating potato chips, and shook his head. But Ino was just talking about it. In fact, she didn't really want to pass the exam with the help of others. And she didn't dislike her teammates. On the contrary, the Ino, Shika, Cho team was very united. With her strong personality, she must also want to prove herself in this Chunin exam. Being teased by Ino, little Sakura blushed in embarrassment. She also knew that in this team, she really had the honor of Naruto and Sasuke. After all, she was the weakest of the three. It is also because of this that she wants to get a chance to hone herself in this Chunin exam and continue to prove her strength. Just as the two girls were talking to each other, suddenly, a cough sounded, breaking the lively atmosphere and making the surrounding noisy voices quiet down. Chapter 49, Part 2. All I saw was a middle-aged man in a black windbreaker and coat, leading several Chunins out of the entrance. This middle-aged man was tall and burly, with several scars on his face. He looked very stern and vicious. As soon as it appeared, it attracted everyone's attention. Naruto and the others also know that this middle-aged man is the examiner of their first exam, Haimarino, and the Chunins he brought were also the rest of the invigilators. Chapter 50, Part 1. It seems that they have also heard about Naruto's performance in the ninja school. It's just that they don't know how Naruto behaved after becoming a ninja, and they don't know that Naruto is Kakashi's most proud student and the captain of this three-person team. So, until now, they still think Naruto is a complete waste. Therefore, after seeing Naruto, the two also ridiculed mercilessly. Seeing this scene, Sasuke and little Sakura also frowned. Before they could speak to Naruto, the two Chunin taunted again. It's just that a third Hokage feels sorry for you, which makes you a waste of ninjas. It's ridiculous that you also want to take the Chunin exam. After hearing their words, Naruto took a deep breath. Unexpectedly, this little Chunin exam would give me special treatment. Immediately, a coldness appeared in Naruto's eyes. He looked at the two of them coldly and said lightly, "Kneel down." What? Hearing Naruto's words, the two Chunin seemed to feel that they had misheard. They were taken aback for a moment, stretched out their ears, and looked at Naruto sarcastically. Then, another cold voice came from Naruto's mouth. "I will make you kneel." After the sound sounded, a terrifying chakra burst out from Naruto's body. Immediately afterwards, Naruto casts two Kido, one of Bakudo, Plug, one of Hado, Rush. The two Kido are cast instantly. Just see, Naruto finger point. Bang! A huge shock hit the knees of the two Chunins immediately. The two Chunins yelled in pain. Their knees hurt, and they couldn't control their balance immediately and had no choice but to kneel down. He even knelt hard on the floor and made a lot of noise, which attracted everyone's attention. Everyone watched this scene in astonishment. Not only that, but Bakudo's power appeared, directly binding the hands of the two behind their backs, making them unable to move, and they could only look at Naruto in horror. Naruto looked at the two stunned Chunin indifferently, snorted coldly, and without their consent, he knelt down at their knees, past him, and walked into the stairs on the second floor. And those two Chunin looked at Naruto in horror as if they had seen a ghost. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. Not knowing what moves Naruto used against them, he made them kneel down, unable to resist. They only felt that a huge force bound them, making them unable to break free no matter how hard they struggled. The power of this force is so different from their own. Could it be that Naruto did it? The two Chunin couldn't believe it, and watched Naruto leave step by step in amazement and horror, unable to make a sound to stop Naruto. With Naruto's current strength, it is impossible for the two Chunin to break free even for the simplest number one Hado. Seeing this scene, the Genins on the side all exclaimed and lost their voices in astonishment. How is this going? What happened? Why are those two arrogant Chunins kneeling like trash now? Ha ha ha, it looks really funny. Could it be that blonde Genin who did it? Everyone looked at Naruto in amazement and involuntarily gasped. And accompanying Naruto, Shaoli and the others who saw this scene were also extremely surprised. Shaoli stepped forward and said in admiration, "As expected of Mr. Naruto, I didn't even see clearly what Mr. Naruto did, but he was able to defeat two Chunins. But why did those two Chunins deliberately stop Mr. Naruto?" After Shaoli finished speaking in admiration, he said with some doubts. Obviously, Shaoli didn't know about Naruto, nor did he know about Naruto's childhood. In his eyes, that seems to be a more special assessment. As everyone knows, it's not an assessment, it's just a great malice. And Hyuga Niji on the side looked at Naruto's eyes, his eyes flickered, as if he had noticed something. This experience was a bit similar to his. So Niji quickly came to Xiao Li's side, stopped and said, Xiao Li, stop asking. This is not what you should ask. Naruto smiled lightly, didn't mind, turned to Sasuke and little Sakura and said, let's go in. Sasuke gave Naruto a deep look and nodded. And little Sakura has complicated eyes. The two thought of how they were alone when they were in Naruto's school, and they seemed to see the different treatment of Naruto in the village. After the simple episode, no one asked much. Everyone quickly walked through the corridor and came to the hall on the second floor. They were also the genin who had passed the assessment below and were preparing to formally take the Chunin exam. The hall on the second floor was already crowded with people, completely different from the scene below. The genins from various villages were discussing enthusiastically about the upcoming Chunin exam, and some genins from different villages exchanged information with each other in an attempt to keep warm and prepare for the upcoming Chunin exam together. And Naruto and the others found a relatively quiet place to stand down, waiting for the Chunin exam to start. Not long after Naruto and the others arrived at the lobby, Ino and Hinata, who had already come here, greeted Naruto immediately after seeing Naruto in the lobby. Naruto, little Sakura, Ino and the others came to Naruto and the others through the crowd, and then Ino said again, why did you come here? The first exam is about to start. Little Sakura and the others smiled embarrassingly. She couldn't say that it was Kakashi who told them on the last day that the Chunin exam had begun. Moreover, not long ago, the registration form was handed over to them. But before little Sakura answered, Ino said enthusiastically again, I heard that the first test is a written test, and there is a very strict examiner. The second test is the actual combat. When the time comes, Naruto, you guys need to help us a lot. Many people here are already united, and we Konoha genins should also unite. Besides, Shikamaru is lazy. Ino leaned over to Naruto, took Naruto's hand, and said with a smile. Seeing this, little Sakura snorted repellently and said, how come Ino, your team's strength is not weak? And the Chunin exam, you have to rely on your own strength to pass. Hearing little Sakura's words, Ino gave little Sakura a dissatisfied look and said, TCH, little Sakura, you are very comfortable. You have Naruto and Sasuke in your group, two of the best talents of our class, and Naruto's strength is far superior to our few genins. Just lie down and be fine, Gon. I envy you, hey, and my teammates, a foodie Choji, a lazy Shikamaru. Ino said enviously to little Sakura, then looked at Shikamaru who was doing nothing and Choji who was eating potato chips, and shook his head. But Ino was just talking about it. In fact, she didn't really want to pass the exam with the help of others. And she didn't dislike her teammates. On the contrary, the Ino, Shika, Cho team was very united. With her strong personality, she must also want to prove herself in this Chunin exam. Being teased by Ino, little Sakura blushed in embarrassment. She also knew that in this team, she really had the honor of Naruto and Sasuke. After all, she was the weakest of the three. It is also because of this that she wants to get a chance to hone herself in this Chunin exam and continue to prove her strength. Just as the two girls were talking to each other, suddenly, a cough sounded, breaking the lively atmosphere and making the surrounding noisy voices quiet down. Chapter 50, Part 2. All I saw was a middle-aged man in a black windbreaker and coat leading several chunits out of the entrance. This middle-aged man was tall and burly, with several scars on his face. He looked very stern and vicious. As soon as it appeared, it attracted everyone's attention. Naruto and the others also know that this middle-aged man is the examiner of their first exam, Haimarino, and the chunits he brought were also the rest of the invigilators.
Thanks for watching. You can find the next videos in the playlist linked in the info card, directly on my channel, or right here on the screen. And as always, if you have any feedback, feel free to share it in the comments too.